Alright, what's going on, everybody? We are live for the Sugar Bowl. We got Ole Miss and Georgia. Game kicked off about a minute ago. Ole Miss run their first two offensive plays. And right now they've got it to a third and about 3. But welcome to the stream, everybody. Should be a pretty good game. We've seen two not-so-great games today. We saw Oregon destroy Texas Tech. We've seen Indiana destroy Alabama. Hopefully this one's pretty close. Chambliss hands off. Kewan Lacey up the middle on third down. He's got a first down. For getting a 4, he moves the sticks. So nice play right there. Let me pull up the chat. Welcome to the stream, everybody. I will also put out a poll. Chambliss to throw. Here he finds Caden Lee on the outside, and he's taken down pretty much at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Alright, there is the poll. Be sure to vote on that. I took Georgia 30-22. They've been playing really well. They've obviously been off for a long time, but I think they continue to play well, and they beat Ole Miss. Chambliss on play action, rolling right, throwing over the middle. That pass is low and incomplete. Looking for Lee again, but it's incomplete. So it's 3rd and 10. 13:15 to go in the first quarter. Chambliss in shotgun, back to his right. Georgia shows blitz. And they bring the blitz. Chambliss gets pressure, throws downfield, incomplete. He bounced it to the intended receiver, so it's 4th down. And Ole Miss is going to punt on their first drive. So Ole Miss to punt on 4th and 10. I also realized I never put a ball marker. So I'll just keep it there now, because Georgia's going to get the football. This is also a rematch of a game we saw in the regular season. Georgia won by a score of 43-35. The punt here going to be fielded by Zachariah Branch at the 16, always dangerous with the ball in his hands. And he'll bring it back to the 27-yard line. So Georgia's defense is off to a pretty good start. They force a punt after just a 1 minute 58-second drive from Ole Miss. And Gunnar Stockton, the offense, on the field. 207 pass yards per game, 23 passing touchdowns, 5 interceptions, also 8 rushing scores. Not the biggest Gunnar Stockton fan. We'll have good games, but some games he's also not great. But been a pretty solid quarterback so far for Georgia. You want Ole Miss to win, but you pick Georgia. Same here. I'd like to see Ole Miss win, but I don't think they will. Georgia, they're in the Sugar Bowl for the 2nd year in a row. Last year they lost 23-10 against Notre Dame. Also, appears to be a lot of blue in the stands. A lot of Ole Miss fans there, at least from what I've seen so far. So Georgia comes out under center, and Stockton off play action. Throws it to flat for the tight end Oscar Delp. Makes the catch. He's got space after the catch. He's got a first down and 15 yards. So a good start to the drive for Georgia, and a nice first offensive play. Delp was wide open, and he got some nice yards after the play, or after the catch. So from the 43-yard line, they bring Dylan Bell in motion. Stockton. Georgia's going to change the play at the line here. Stockton in shotgun, back to his left. And Stockton throws a swing pass for Nate Frazier. And Frazier is going to get a pretty good pickup there, about 7 yards on first down. So a good pickup right there. And they're at midfield here after just 2 plays. So 2nd and 3, Stockton in shotgun, Frazier to his left. Georgia going quickly here. Stockton to throw, has time, he's going to step up and try to run. And Stockton dives ahead for a first down, and he picks up 5. So it's a first down for Georgia. Been a good looking drive for them so far. Just a few plays, but already inside Ole Miss territory. Georgia, they scored on every possession against Ole Miss. 5 touchdowns, 3 field goals in the October 18th victory. They obviously won 43-35. That was a great game. So Stockton in shotgun makes a check of the line right here from the Ole Miss 45-yard line. They bring Branch across the formation. And Stockton fakes to Frazier and wants to go deep. Down the sideline, he wants Zachariah Branch, but he threw it out of bounds. Went him a little too far. And it ends up incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10 with 11:03 to go in the first quarter. But tight coverage downfield right there. They try to take a shot downfield, but can't quite connect. Colby Young also playing in his first game for Georgia since he broke his leg against Ole Miss. He's another weapon they've got back. Here's a swing pass for Zachariah Branch. And Branch, actually a well-defended play there by the Ole Miss defense. He's out of bounds at the line of scrimmage. He's not an easy guy to prevent from getting yards after the catch, but a great play right there. Brings up 3rd and 10. You got Georgia 24-14, okay? I could definitely see that. I decided to go a little bit higher scoring. I took Georgia 30-22. So 3rd and 10 from the 44. Georgia a 46% conversion rate. That's 4th in the SEC. Stockton going to look to throw here on 3rd and 10. Plenty of time. Now it's going to roll to his right. Stockton now gets pressured. Just launches one downfield, and it's too high and incomplete. Cass Jones, the closest receiver to it. But it's incomplete, and Ole Miss going to force a punt right here on 4th down. So they allow Georgia to move the football a little bit, but then the defense able to get a stop and force a punt. Not bad. Looks like Cass Jones looking for a flag right there, but I'm not really sure how there would be a flag because the ball was thrown over his head, and he was not restricted from going to attack the ball or get the ball. So Brett Thorson punted away, and this is a great punt. Wow, it's down at the 1-yard line. It's caught on the fly by London Humphreys at the 1-yard line. Can't do it any better. What a punt. They down it at the 1-yard line. We saw a similar one last night between Miami and Ohio State when Miami had a punt. They also caught it on the fly. Yeah, that was a great kick. Really can't do it any better. I do rate Ole Miss offense. Yeah, they're pretty good. I agree. They're a very good offense. I think they'll be able to score points, even though Georgia's playing pretty well defensively. But I don't think that's going to be the problem for them. I think the problem is going to be getting consistent stops, because that's something they weren't able to do in the first game. Georgia scored in every possession. And I just don't trust this defense enough. But wait for them to come back from commercial. The Ole Miss offense going to get the ball back. Well, they're backed up deep inside their own territory at the 1-yard line. Both teams punt on their first drive. Georgia goes a little bit further. We'll pull up the box score for the game. Forgot to do that. We got 10:18 to go in the first quarter. Ole Miss on the first drive gained 12 yards. Georgia gained 29. Both ended at punt. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. So far, results from the poll: 67% of you guys said Georgia will win. 33% have said Ole Miss. Be sure to vote if you have not already done so. I took Georgia 30-22. Also, be sure to like the stream if you guys have not already done so. Got just 4 likes so far, so if you guys can smash that like button, that'd be much appreciated. I just saw a NFL commercial. That reminds me, I'm working on my NFL predictions. They should be out tomorrow. I know it's a little bit late, but at least there's no Thursday night game. So I'm still getting them out before all the games start this week. But they'll be posted tomorrow. So it's a 1st and 10 here for the Ole Miss offense. The ball is actually spotted in their own 2-yard line. Chambliss in shotgun, Lacey to his right. So Chambliss hands off Lacey. Gonna bounce to the outside, and Lacey with a nice run, as he gained 8 before he gets body slammed at the 10-yard line. So it brings up 2nd and 2. After a nice 1st down run. 9:55 to go in the 1st quarter. So Chambliss in shotgun, Lacey to his left. Bring the tight end across the formation. Another handoff, Lacey. Makes the guy miss. Lacey going to get to the outside. Across the 20. Lacey stiff arms the guy. He's out of bounds at the 28. And a nice run for Kewan Lacey. And a 1st down. So a 1st down for Ole Miss after a couple nice run plays to start the drive. He's run it 4 times for 30 yards so far. That's hard to do against this Georgia defense. Chambliss going to look to throw for the 1st time in the drive. And he gets pressured, so he'll throw the outside on the check down. And he's able to pick up about 3 on the play. Wallace with the catch. So it brings up 2nd down. So Chambliss in shotgun. Logan Diggs is the back arm to his left. So Chambliss to throw. Chambliss gets pressured, and he'll check down to Diggs in the flat. And Diggs is going to fight through a tackle and be very close to a 1st down. Good running right there. Did not think he was going to be able to break that tackle. So they will give another 1st down for Ole Miss. Diggs got about 8 on the catch and run. So Chambliss in shotgun, Diggs again to his left. Here's a throw to the outside, caught by Harrison Wallace, makes the guy miss, and picks up 7. It's been a good looking drive so far for Ole Miss, moving the football pretty effectively. So 2nd and 3. Here they fake the jet sweep. Chambliss going to run it, and he'll try to get the outside, and Chambliss is going to stick the ball across for a 1st down. That's another thing that makes him so dangerous. Not only does he throw for like 300 yards a game, he's also a great runner. He's been insane since he took over as the starter for Ole Miss. Now I'm interested to see if he's going to go follow Lane Kiffin to LSU when he's done playing here. Because he could get another year of eligibility. Chambliss to throw on 1st down from the 47, rolling to his right. Chambliss throws over the middle, caught by Wallace. Inside the Georgia 40-yard line to the 39. And this has been a great drive for the Ole Miss offense. They started their own 2-yard line. They're already inside Georgia territory. Seven plays, 59 yards so far in just 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So from the 39, Chambliss off play action, plenty of time, and his pass tries to find the tight end of the flap. It's knocked down at the line of scrimmage, and it's 2nd and 10. So 6:33 to go in the first quarter. Chambliss in shotgun, Lacey to his left. And Chambliss going to hand off. Lacey is going to get dragged down for just a yard, maybe 2. So now you got a 3rd and long. That's a tough spot to be against this Georgia defense. So 3rd and 9. Chambliss in shotgun, Lacey to his left. Could be 4 down territory. For Ole Miss, depending on what you get right here. Probably is 4 down territory. Chambliss throws outside. Oh, wow. A little bit of a dangerous throw. The defender made a great play on the ball and could have picked it, but he just knocks it down. Ole Miss looking good. Yeah, they're looked a lot better than I expected them to look. Offense moving the football here. So it's now 4th and 9. And Ole Miss, well, oh wow, they have a good kicker. I didn't even realize that. They're going to settle for a long field goal try. His career long from 54. He's made that from 3 times. This would be 1 yard longer than that. So from 55 to set a new career long and get Ole Miss on the board. And his kick is on line, and it is good. Wow, that hit the netting. What a kick. A long field goal. That would have been good from 60 plus. But a long field goal gets Ole Miss on the board. And they're up 3-0. Wow, what a kick. And here I am thinking they're going to go for it. I did not realize they had a great kicker. But what a kick. It gets Ole Miss on the board, and they lead Georgia 3-0 with 5:47 to go in the first quarter. But that was a pretty nice drive there for Ole Miss. They started their own 2-yard line, end up at the Georgia 38. They go 11 plays, 60 yards. They take 4:27 off the clock and get the game's first points. That was a good drive. Trinidad Chambliss so far 38 yards passing. Kewan Lacey 31 yards rushing. Chambliss on the season 3,298 yards, 19 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's also run for 506 yards and 8 touchdowns. And that's all without playing in the first few games. He played a little bit against Georgia State because they won that game 63-7. And he played a little bit against Kentucky after Austin Simmons got hurt. But he didn't start till the third week of the season against Arkansas. And he still put up great numbers. He has made 11 starts? Yeah, 11 starts. And he's thrown for more than 300 in 7 of them. But he has been insane. He's averaging, let's see. He's averaging 299 passing yards per start. I could go passing yards per animal, though. That would be significantly less. It's 253 per game, but 299 per start. But it makes a lot more sense to do per start, considering the first 2 games he saw action, he attempted a total of 6 passes between the 2. And he threw for 59 yards. But Georgia can get the football back here, down by 3. Slow start, something Georgia is not unfamiliar with. They feel like they always get off to a slow start. Although they have been a little bit better recently. A decent start against Alabama in the SEC championship game. They never really got going against Georgia Tech, but they've been a little bit better. But definitely a second half team. And that's exactly what happened the first matchup against Ole Miss. But 5:47 to go in the first quarter. Georgia will get the ball back for their second possession. Zachariah Branch back deep to receive. And the kick goes through the end zone for a touchback. So Georgia takes over at their own 25-yard line, down by 3. Gunnar Stockton, 12-2 as a starter. He lost his first career start in the Sugar Bowl last year, but he has won 9 straight games, including the SEC championship game a couple weeks ago, really close to a month ago at this point, against Alabama. So 1st and 10, 5:47 to go in the first quarter. Stockton in the pistol. Frazier is behind him. And Stockton throws the outside for for Zachariah Branch, and a gain of 2 on the play. Ole Miss has done a pretty good job containing him so far. So 2nd and 8 right here. 5:20 to go in the opening quarter. Ole Miss up 3-0. Stockton shifts to under center. Frazier is the back. And they're handed Frazier up the middle. And Nate Frazier with a nice run. 6 yards there on first down. Georgia still without their starting center, Drew Bobo, out with a foot/ankle injury. They also missed the SEC championship game. So it brings up 3rd and 2, and Stockton throws that pass knocked down at the line of scrimmage, and incomplete. Brings up 4th and 2, and the Ole Miss defense can force a 3 and out. They brought a blitz right there. One of the free rushers able to knock it down at the line. And the Ole Miss defense gets a stop. So it'll be 2 punts on 2 drives for the Georgia offense. And Ole Miss will get it back. So the punt is away. And it'll be fair caught at the 19-yard line. 4:23 to go in the first quarter. Ole Miss leading 3-0. So it was a 48-yard punt. Obviously nothing on the return, as it was fair caught. And we'll see what Ole Miss can do for their next possession. They've gotten off to a pretty solid start. A great drive in their last drive. And the defense also playing pretty well so far. A 3 and out right there. And the first drive, they also forced a punt. I'm a little surprised Georgia is throwing the ball as much as they are. I mean, Ole Miss, the defense for their, or the weakness for the defense is against the run. I mean, their pass defense isn't amazing. I'm pointing at the numbers right now. I think they're allowing like 145 rushing yards a game. Which is definitely not great. Let's see. Ole Miss allowing 147.8 rush yards per game, 192.1 passing yards per game. So I don't know why, if you're Georgia, when you've got a great run game, against a bad run defense, you go out and you decide to throw the ball, you call it 8 pass plays in your first 9 plays. That makes no sense. I mean, technically they've only thrown 7 passes, but Stockton also scrambled on 1. They've called 8 design pass plays and run it 1 time in their first 9 plays against a pretty good pass defense and a defense that struggles to stop the run. Doesn't make much sense to me. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. Ole Miss gets the football back after the punt. They'll have it at the 19-yard line after the fair catch on a 48-yard punt. So far, results in the poll, 59% of you guys said Georgia will win, 41% have said Ole Miss. Be sure to vote if you haven't already done so. And if you guys haven't already dropped a like on the stream, be sure to do that. It'd be much appreciated. So Trinidad Chambliss and the Ole Miss offense back on the field was obviously a D2 transfer from Ferris State. Was the D2 Player of the Year last year. Led Ferris State to a national championship. Then transferred to Ole Miss to be the backup. Alton Simmons got hurt and took over the starting role. So 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. Chambliss in shotgun, Lacey to his left. Here throw the outside. Oh wow, almost intercepted. Somehow caught though. And he gained about 3 on the play. Chambliss, when he transferred, was the 843rd overall player, the 60th best quarterback. If you re-rank, he's probably top 10. Overall, probably a top, 3 quarterback. Here's a good run for Kewan Lacey, gained about 8 yards, and Ole Miss first down. He's run the ball really effectively. I'm trying to think who are some of the other transfer quarterbacks in this past cycle. But I mean, looking back, Trinidad Chambliss has to be one of the best ones. I mean, Fernando Mendoza is probably number 1. But Chambliss probably one of the few best. Gonna take a shot downfield here. Oh, what a catch downfield! What a catch by Harrison Wallace inside Georgia territory to the 45. Another great play for this Ole Miss offense. They've gotten off to a really nice start. But a nice throw from Chambliss. A nice catch by Wallace downfield. He's got 4 catches for 44 yards. Here's a handoff. Lacey up the middle. And again, he's just going to drag defenders with him for about 6 yards. I expected Ole Miss to have some success offensively. I did not expect their offense to come out and be able to run the football like this. This is a defense that was dominating against the run at the end of the regular season. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. So 2nd and 5, high snap. Chambliss controls it, takes a shot down the sideline, and it is incomplete off the hands of the intended receiver. That was Alexander. That was a good throw from Chambliss. And almost caught. A good coverage. Made a one-handed attempt at it. So 3rd and 5 here for Ole Miss. They're 1 for 3 on 3rd down. From the Georgia 39-yard line. It's the same spot the other drive ended at. Where they kicked the field goal. A 1-yard difference. That was the 38. Play clock winding down here, and Ole Miss calls timeout. So the new head coach, Pete Golding, calls timeout right there. 2:21 to go in the first quarter. And a 3rd and 5 here for Ole Miss. That hire was definitely interesting for Ole Miss, hiring Pete Golding and making that decision so quickly. Like, it was announced Lane Kiffin was leaving, even though we kind of suspected that. But it was announced he was leaving, then like an hour later, they announced Pete Golding as the new head coach. But we wait for them to come back from commercial here. After the timeout for Ole Miss. The offense moving the football again on this drive. This drive, 5 plays, 42 yards. The last drive, 11 plays, 60 yards. Ole Miss already over 100 yards here in the first quarter. But they were also good early in the game against Georgia as well. 7 in the first quarter, 14 in the second quarter, 14 in the third quarter. But then they got outscored 17-0 in the fourth. They were up 35-26 entering the fourth quarter. But then got outscored by 17. And Georgia, they've done that a ton this season. A ton of comeback wins because they always get off to terrible starts. So we're back from commercial here. A 3-0 lead for Ole Miss. 3rd and 5 from the 39. The Georgia 39, that is. We got 2:21 to go in the first quarter. They emptied the backfield here for Trinidad Shambles, shifting the formation, going 5 wide. 4 receivers to the right side. Georgia brings 5. Shambles has it knocked up in the air at the line of scrimmage, and it's incomplete. So it's 4th and 5. And it looks like another field goal try here for Ole Miss. Wouldn't it be crazy if Ole Miss wins it off if the coach left the program? Yeah, that'd be crazy. I mean, Lane Kiffin goes and leaves, and playing without a head coach, they win a national championship. Talk about, like, overcoming the odds or whatever. That'd be pretty crazy. So here is another field goal try for Ole Miss. They just drilled a 55-yarder. This one from 56. Would set a new career long, which he just set. And this kick is on the way, and it is good again. Wow, now another huge kick. Another one that's good from 60 plus. A 56-yarder, and it's 6-0 Ole Miss. That is now back-to-back field goals where he set a new career long. His career long was 54. Now it's 50, or was 55. Now it's 56. But another great kick as he drills it right down the middle. I did not know Ole Miss had a great kicker. I'm not sure what's more impressive. The fact that we've seen a college kicker, who are usually pretty bad, make 2 55-plus yard field goals on back-to-back possessions, or the fact that those are both good from 60 plus. But that was a really good kick. Another one. Kickers and punters can make a difference, just ask OU. Yeah, that is definitely true. Their special team sure was something that game. Their punter dropping the ball. One of the best kickers in the country missing 2 field goals. That was definitely made a big difference. The kicker is through the end zone for a touchback here, so Georgia will get it back. Ole Miss, they forced 0 punts in the first meeting against Georgia. But tonight, in 2 possessions, they've already forced 2 punts. A much better start. Now the offense, putting up field goals instead of touchdowns. So if you're Ole Miss, you got to make sure that's not the difference. And you got to eventually flip that to touchdowns instead of field goals. But the defense playing very well. So Stockton going to hand off here to Nate Frazier. And Frazier with a great run. Wow, 13 yards there on first down. But a great run right there. This gets it to the 38-yard line. Frazier 19 yards in just 2 carries. So Stockton under center to bring Humphreys in motion. And another handoff. Frazier up the middle. And another good pickup, about 6 yards right there to the 44. And he moves the 6, or sorry, doesn't move the 6, but the 44-yard line, another good first down pickup. So now that makes more sense. You come out, you run the football against not great run defense after however many pass plays. 8 pass plays in the first 9 plays. This makes more sense. So 2nd and 4 here for Georgia. Stockton under center. And play action here. He pump fakes, gets pressured, and Stockton now throws that pass. Oh, did he catch that? Wow, it's caught by Kobe Young. What a catch. A nice throw from Gunnar Stockton as well. Man, what a throw. On the run, an accurate throw and a nice catch as he lays out for it. Yeah, that's definitely a catch. Wow. That's a nice play for this Georgia offense. Gunnar Stockton, 5 for 8, 38 yards. We'll hand off here. Bowens up the middle. And Bowens, nice run. Another 6 yards. On the final play of the first quarter. So at the end of one, Ole Miss up 6-0 thanks to a pair of long field goals. But Georgia having the best drive of the day, moving the football pretty effectively. And trying to get their first points. But Ole Miss up 6-0 at the end of the first quarter. Winner faces Miami in the Fiesta Bowl in a little over a week. But a pretty good first quarter for Ole Miss. I mean, I think, all things considered, things went pretty well. I mean, really the only thing you'd ask for is touchdowns instead of field goals, but the defense played pretty well. The offense moved the football through the air and on the ground. But it's been a pretty good start for Ole Miss. Right now they're outgaining Georgia 114-75. But Georgia's starting to run the football. They've got 5 carries for 37 yards. Although Ole Miss 8 for 48. Both teams averaging more than 6 yards per carry. Georgia averaging 5.8 yards per play. Ole Miss at 5.2 yards per play. So I mean, both offenses moving the football pretty well. But it'll be a 2nd and 4 for Georgia from the Ole Miss. Oh, what did I just do? From the Ole Miss 37-yard line on the first play of the second quarter. The first meeting between these two teams, Ole Miss was also winning at the end of the first quarter. They were up 7-3. Georgia actually started the scoring there with a 51-yard field goal, and then Chambliss ran for a touchdown. I'm pulling up the stats for the Ole Miss kicker right now. He's in his first year at Ole Miss, and he is, including the 2 he's made today, he's 26 of 29 on the season. He's always been a pretty good kicker from distance. Last year he went 6 for 6 on kicks longer than 50 yards. This year he's 1 for 2. And he's 2 for 2 on those kicks today. But we start the second quarter. Alright, I did change that. Just wanted to make sure. So 2nd and 4 here for Georgia as we enter the second quarter. A 6-point Ole Miss lead. So Stockton under center. Frazier is the back. And they're going to hand it off. Frazier up the middle has got space in a first down. Nate Frazier thrown down at the 27-yard line. And Georgia moves the sticks on the ground once again. So 1st and 10 here. Stockton, again, under center. Frazier the back. From the 28-yard line, they bring Zachariah Branch in motion. And they hand it off. Frazier up the middle again. He's got a ton of space and another first down. Nate Frazier another 15 yards. And Georgia moves the sticks on the ground again. This is kind of what I expect to see from this Georgia offense. Maybe not quite this effective, but I'm just trying to run the football. Another 15 right there for Frazier. So a first down here for Georgia. Inside the red zone at the 12-yard line. Stockton with Frazier to his left. Gonna fake the Frazier and pump fake. And Stockton gonna go up the middle here. And Stockton gonna run it in himself for a Georgia touchdown. Gunnar Stockton with the rushing touchdown, 12 yards. Georgia's on the board. And Georgia an extra point away from taking the lead. They go right down the field, 7 plays, 75 yards to take 3:36 off the clock. And a dominant drive for the Georgia offense. Gunnar Stockton, that's his 9th rushing score of the season. That leads the team. And here's Peyton Woodring to add the extra point. And it is good. So 7-6, Georgia takes the lead. A great drive, especially running the football. I think all but one drive, or all but one play on that drive, was a run play. The only one that wasn't was the throw to Colby Young. So Georgia up by 1 with 13:37 to go in the first half. Alright, let's see. That drive. Yeah, they went 13-yard run, 6-yard run. Then they had the pass play, 13 yards. And then 6 yards, 9 yards, 16 yards, all on the ground. And then the 12-yard rushing touchdown for Gunnar Stockton. But that was an impressive drive. Georgia now up to 74 rushing yards in just 8 carries. That's 9.3 yards a carry. Running the ball very effectively. 62 of the 75 yards in that drive came on the ground. In the first matchup, Georgia also ran the ball well. They ran for 221 on 4.5 yards per carry. Frazier ran for 72, Bowens ran for 61, Stockton ran for 59 and a touchdown. Georgia's really got a pretty good running back duo between Nate Frazier and Chauncey Bowens. Frazier ran for 861 and 6 touchdowns. Bowens ran for 516 and 6 touchdowns. And you've also got to account for Gunnar Stockton and what he does as a runner. But we wait for them to come back from commercial here. Ole Miss will get it back. Trailing for the first time today. It's now 7-6. Alright, they'll be back from commercial in a few seconds. So far, results in the poll, 67% of you guys said Georgia will win, 33% have said Ole Miss. Be sure to vote if you have not already done so. Also, be sure to drop a like on the stream if you haven't done so already. That'd be much appreciated. So far, we got just 6 likes, so be sure to smash that like button. Winner of this game will face Miami next week in the Fiesta Bowl. And then the winner will obviously face either Oregon or Indiana in the national championship game. So Georgia kicks off after the touchdown, and the kick goes through the end zone for a touchback, and Ole Miss comes out at the 25. So they go back to the touchdown. This was actually supposed to be a pass play. They were trying to get it to Oscar Delp in the flat, but that was covered. So the Stockton just decides to cut up the middle. He's got a lot of space, and he's able to score. So Chambliss in the offense back on the field for Ole Miss. And he'll throw the outside here, where that's caught, for a gain of 7 yards. And a good start to the drive on first down. So, 2nd and 3, here's a handoff for Kewan Lacey, and this time he's not going to find as much space. He'll get about 2 yards, which is one of his shortest runs of the day. Number 5, for the Georgia defense, dealing with some kind of injury. He's over on the bike. So hopefully he's okay. I don't know who that is. 3rd and 1, Lacey runs into his own guy, and on the second effort, he'll get there. Lacey picks up 2, although that did not look too promising from the start. He ran into his own lineman, but able to bounce off that, and he's now running for 50 yards in just 9 carries. Georgia trying to figure out who they want in the game. Kirby Smart yelling at somebody over on the sideline. So 1st and 10 from the 36. Chambliss, wow, one-handed catch on the snap. And he's going to go deep down the field. He's got a man downfield, and it's caught. It is caught. Number 1, I don't know who that is. Oh, Dijon Stribling makes the catch downfield. A huge play. What a throw from Chambliss. I mean, you can't put that any better. He catches the snap with one hand and makes a great throw downfield to Stribling. You cannot put this ball any better. "12 minutes to go here in the first half. Ole Miss at the 25-yard line after a great throw and catch. Play action, throw to the outside. That is caught by Wallace. Oh, he got a face mask pulled. The flags come in, and Wallace can pick up about 9. Plus give him an automatic first down. and take him half the distance to the goal for the face mask. So it's the first penalty of the game. It'll go against Georgia for a face mask. That was a very obvious one right there. Yep, definitely face mask. So first and goal after the penalty. Chambliss in shotgun. Ball on the 8-yard line. Chambliss, it's a design quarterback run. Going to try to get the outside. He gets a block out there. And Chambliss is going to be down at the 3-yard line. Brings up second and goal. Chambliss has run for, I believe it said 6 touchdowns. I looked at the stats before it. I can't remember now. So second and goal. 10:50 to go in the first half. Chambliss in shotgun. Lacey to his left. From the 3. Chambliss throws to the outside. It's off the hands of Wallace and incomplete. Wallace might have jammed his finger right there. It definitely looks like he jammed a finger. So third and goal here. From the 3-yard line. Chambliss in shotgun. Lacey motions out of the backfield. Chambliss, design roll to his right. On the run. Chambliss throws. End zone. Call for a touchdown. Ole Miss with their first touchdown. They retake the lead. Trinidad. Chambliss with a nice touchdown. And Ole Miss retakes the lead. Another great drive. They go right down the field. They found the tight end Luke Haas right there. 8 plays, 75 yards, just 3 minutes off the clock. And this Ole Miss offense looks really good. No Lane Kiffin, no problem. They're going right down the field. And Ole Miss going to go for 2 right here. They're going to try to make it a touchdown game. I don't necessarily love this right here. I mean, I understand the thinking, but I would just kick the extra point. Chambliss to throw. Gets pressured. Chambliss gets sacked. Trinidad Chambliss gets sacked on the 2-point attempt. Would have just kicked the extra point. So it'll say 12-7. But Chambliss with his 20th touchdown pass of the season. Nice throw to the back of the end zone for the tight end Haas right there. And it's now 12-7. Ole Miss leads. And this is actually the first game today where we've seen both teams score a touchdown. Texas Tech didn't score at all. Alabama only kicked a field goal. So that's the first game today. We've seen both teams score a touchdown. And it's the first game of the quarterfinals between last night and today, where both teams have scored a touchdown in the first half. So the kick is away here, and touchback. We'll come out to the 25, and we'll see what Georgia's offense does in this next possession. So 1st and 10 from the 25. Stockton hands off Nate Frazier up the middle. And Frazier another 6-yard pickup. He's run the ball so effectively. I mean, if you're Ole Miss, you're going to have to find a way to stop this run game. They've had like one good play against the run so far. But that's it. But it's 2nd and 4. Frazier shifts to his right. And he gets the carry again here. And there's a positive play for the Ole Miss defense. Frazier loses 2. And brings up 3rd and 6. So it's now 3rd. And they're at a spot of 3rd and 5 for Georgia. 9.5 minutes to go in the first half. Georgia has not converted the 3rd down. They're 0 for 2. Ole Miss is 3 of 6. So Stockton in shotgun. Cass Jones, who's the pass catching specialist, actually going to get the carry right here. Trying to turn the corner. Jones has the 1st down. Cass Jones moves to 6. I was going to say, I should have just said he's a 3rd down specialist. But they throw the ball to him a lot. But he gets the carry right there. And a 1st down. But it's the first 3rd down conversion of the day for the Georgia offense. And here's Bowens on the carry. And Bowens taken down for a loss of a yard. That's a nice play for the Ole Miss defense. Just got to keep Georgia behind the sticks right here so they can't keep running the football. Now, I mean, with the way they have run the ball, they could run it on like any down. Like, they can definitely go run the ball here on 2nd and 11. But I think your best chance is probably forcing him to throw the ball. So Stockton going to look to throw. Stockton rolling to his right on the run. Stockton is going to get sacked. Stockton goes down for a loss of 2 and brings up 3rd and 13 here for Georgia. That's what you want to do if you're Ole Miss. At least I would think so. You want to force Gunnar Stockton to throw the ball and not get run over. So it's 3rd and 13. Here's a screen for Branch. Ducks under one defender. And Zachariah Branch makes another guy miss. There he is in space. Zachariah Branch, 15 yards and a 1st down. Ole Miss has done a great job containing him after the catch. But Zachariah Branch, just too good with the ball in his hands. Makes a couple guys miss and a 1st down. He should have been taken down at the line of scrimmage right here. Really behind the line. But he's able to duck under a tackle, juke around another guy. And picks up 15. He is such a good playmaker. So 1st and 10 from the 50. They go back to the ground here with Nate Frazier, and he's stopped at the line of scrimmage. Maybe he got a yard, but not much space. 6.5 minutes to go in the first half. Zachariah Branch has forced 24 missed tackles entering today. That was 3rd most among receivers in the SEC. So 2nd and 9. Stockton in shotgun. They bring Lawson Lucky in motion. Stockton, swing pass here for Frazier. And Frazier down the sideline. He's forced to bounce the 25-yard line. Another nice catch and run. And Nate Frazier, with an extension of the run game, another good pickup. Got a great block from Oster Delp on the outside to really spring that one. So it's 1st and 10 from the 25. Nate Frazier already 87 total yards, 56 rushing, 31 receiving. And here's McCray who gets the carry. He's taken down for a loss of 2 on the play. So the Ole Miss defense figuring things out against the run a little bit. That's 3 or 4 run plays in a row where they really haven't had anywhere to go. 5 minutes left in the first half. It's a 2nd and 12. So Stockton in shotgun. Play action. Stockton going to look to throw. He's going to throw towards the end zone. It is incomplete. Took a shot downfield. Pass got knocked away. Almost got, I thought they had a chance to get intercepted after the deflection. But it ends up incomplete. So it's now 3rd and longs. It's 3rd down and 12 with 4:40 to go in the first half. Stockton in shotgun. Cass Jones to his left. Stockton to throw. Stockton gets pressured, steps up, and rolls left. Stockton throws to Jones in the flat. Makes the guy miss. Jones gets a 1st down, still on his feet, and Cass Jones knocked down at the 1-yard line. Cass Jones with the big catch and run, and a 1st down for Georgia. Tackling has become a little bit of a problem for the Ole Miss defense on this drive. Should have definitely had him short of the sticks. Oh man, Stockton took a huge hit on that play as well. Gonna sneak it here. Stockton into the end zone. Touchdown, Georgia. So Georgia retakes the lead. Gunnar Stockton, his 2nd touchdown run of the day. This one just on a simple quarterback sneak. And Georgia retakes the lead. 12 plays, 75 yards right down the field. That takes 6:28 off the clock. And that's back-to-back really nice scoring drives for Georgia. .405 to go in the first half. And here's Woodring to add the extra point. And it is good. So 14-12. Georgia leads Ole Miss with 4:05 left in the first half. Another great drive. Quarterback got walloped on that pass. Yeah, I saw that. Oh man, they showed that again. That is a huge hit. I don't know how Stockton survived that play. Yeah, they showed it again. That was a huge hit. He just pops right back up and then runs it in for a touchdown the next play. Yeah, that was a huge hit. If that happens in the NFL, it's definitely roughing the passer. You hit the quarterback too hard. But that's a clean hit. But wait for them to come back from commercial. Ole Miss will get it back. Seen the offense really pick up over the last couple drives. Georgia back-to-back touchdown drives. Ole Miss with 3 straight scoring drives, 2 field goals, and a touchdown. It's now 14-0. Oh, sorry, 14-12. Thankfully, it's not 14-0. We can actually see some scoring in this game. unlike the other two games we've seen so far today. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. Ole Miss gets it back. We'll see if their offense continues to move the ball well, or if the Georgia defense can get a stop. Pete Golding yelling at his defense over on the sideline. I believe he's still calling the defense, as he was the defensive coordinator before he got promoted to head coach. He probably says, "You guys stink. Start playing better." But both teams over 175 total yards. Ole Miss 181, Georgia 187. So a fair catch called for here on the kickoff. And we brought out to the 25. So Georgia, on their last two drives, they've gone 19 plays for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, after they punted on their first 2 drives. So 1st and 10, a handoff to Lacey, makes a nice cut, and gains about 5 on the play. So here's a handoff. Lacey again to the left side. And he turns the corner, and he's got a first down, gain of 6. So 1st and 10, 3:25 to go in the first half. Chambliss can look to throw here on 1st down. And Chambliss underneath that pass caught by Alexander for gain of 5. So 2nd and 4. Chambliss, a handoff here. Lacey up the middle. And Lacey, he lost the ball. He got scooped up by Georgia. And they're going to take it the other way and score. A scoop and score. Georgia extends their lead. The defensive touchdown. As Lacey fumbles, gets picked up and brought back. And Georgia up 20-12. That one's not good. The Ole Miss defense has been allowing enough points over the past couple drives. They don't need the offense to start doing that as well. It's a 46-yard fumble return. And Georgia about to be up 9 after the extra point. So 2:34 to go in the first half. Georgia late running guy onto the field for the extra point. And that's now a delay of game. Because Georgia... They were running a guy on the field, so then, because they substituted, Ole Miss had to be given an opportunity to sub. And then, I mean, they didn't, but then the play clock ran down. But Woodring to add the extra point, with how good of a kicker he is, you wouldn't think the 5 yards make a difference. And it doesn't. So 21-12, a costly mistake for Ole Miss. As Lacey fumbles, it cost him 7 points. As it got scooped up and returned all the way. Now if you're Ole Miss, you really need points in this drive. Plus Georgia gets the ball to start the second half, so you really need to make sure you get points in this drive. Missed the fumble, oh man. They fumbled and then it got brought back. Yeah, huge for Georgia, for sure. I mean, not only does the defense get stopped, but and not only does the defense get a stop, they get points out of it as well. And that is a costly mistake for Ole Miss, and you just can't have that. But Ole Miss will get the ball back here. Now down 9. And we'll see what they can do for their next possession. Because then they were moving the ball in that drive. 4 plays, 21 yards before they fumbled. The only problem for Ole Miss is you can usually move the ball against Georgia in the first half. I mean, Alabama didn't in the SEC championship game, but that's just because their offense was not good. But Ole Miss over 200 yards in the first half. 12 points so far, 6 points a quarter. So right now they're on pace for 24, which probably isn't going to cut it, considering Georgia's already at 21 in the first half. All 21 in the second quarter. So they're back from commercial here. Ole Miss gets the football back after the offense fumbles and Georgia brings it back for a score. Officially a 47-yard fumble return for the touchdown. And the kick here, fair caught at the goal line. So it'll come back out to the 25-yard line. But Ole Miss with the ball back here. Got to make sure that turnover doesn't hurt them and they can keep moving the football. Already over 200 yards in the first half. Daewin Everett is the first Georgia defensive player with a touchdown this season. And he also had an interception in the SEC championship game, and he had 2 in the SEC title game last year. Georgia with an injured player on the kickoff. But he's able to get up and walk off the field, so let's see. He appears to be okay. Hopefully he is okay. So 1st and 10, 2:34 to go in the first half. Georgia with 3 timeouts, Ole Miss with 2. Chambliss in shotgun back to his right. That's Lacey who just fumbled. So from the 25, Chambliss fakes it to Lacey. And he goes deep down the field right away. Chambliss in coverage, but it's almost caught. Actually, a pretty good throw. Looking for Caden Lee downfield, but it's incomplete. But 2nd and 10. .228 to go in the first half. Chambliss, again, fakes it to Lacey. He throws underneath. That pass caught by Deuce Alexander for a gain of 7. Ole Miss does not have to run a play before the 2-minute warning. They got 2:15. And they will take it to the 2-minute warning. Or as they call it in college, the 2-minute timeout. Same idea. But 3rd and 3 upcoming for Ole Miss. 2 minutes left in the first half. Georgia still with all 3 timeouts. Stockton has 2. Also, they just showed Stockton celebrating his touchdown. He punched somebody in the face mask when he was celebrating. That's gotta hurt. I mean, it wasn't intentional, but still. But we wait for them to come back from commercial here. At the 2-minute warning of the first half, Georgia up 21-12. And Ole Miss got a 3rd and 3 on their own 32. So far, results in the poll, 64% of you guys said Georgia will win, 36% have said Ole Miss. Again, be sure to vote if you have not already done so. My original prediction was Georgia 30-23. I was making an updated prediction at halftime. But it's been a pretty good game so far. Definitely the best one of the day so far, considering Indiana won by 30, 35 actually. And Oregon won by 23. Alright, so they're back from commercial at the 2-minute warning. So 3rd and 3. Chambliss in shotgun back to his left. They bring a receiver in motion from the 32. Really need to get a first down right here. Chambliss to throw. Has time. Throws over the middle. Call. Oh, it's dropped. He was wide open at the 45, but it got dropped. That is a huge play. Because now Ole Miss is forced to punt. Whereas if you completed that, you've got 15 to 20 yards because you got some space after the catch as well. And you extend the drive. You probably got the ball to about midfield. Man, that is a huge, huge drop right there for Ole Miss because now you punt the ball away and your defense allowed points on back-to-back drives. It's fair call by Zachariah Branch at the 21. So Stockton and the Georgia offense back on the field. Plenty of timeouts to work with as well. And they can try to put a drive together before halftime, and they get the ball to start the second half. So 1st and 10, Georgia still with all 3 timeouts, Ole Miss with 2. Minute 50 left in the first half. So Stockton gonna look to throw and he'll try to step up and run, but he's dropped for a sack. Stockton had a lane for a second, but that closed very quickly. And gets dropped for a loss of 2 on the play. Minute 30 to go in the first half. Clock is running. So 2nd and 17. Sorry, 2nd and 12. There was a minute 17 left. I combined the two. Now there's a minute 10 left. Georgia not in a rush, using all the time they can in the play clock. And they'll just throw a screen here for Zachariah Branch, who is taking down after a short pickup, and Ole Miss going to call a timeout right here. I like that from Pete Golding and Ole Miss. Call a timeout. That's their second. So if they can get another stop on 3rd down, you can call another timeout, assuming the clock is running. It's not an incompletion. And then you get the ball back to the offense. And I mean, I feel like you have to get the ball back to the offense at this point. You're down 9. 21 to 12. You don't get the ball to start the second half. I mean, even if you just kick another long field goal before halftime, you need that. But it's a 3rd and 10. .58 seconds left. 1 timeout for Ole Miss, 3 for Georgia. So 3rd and 10. Stockton in shotgun. Jones was left. And Stockton hands off to Cass Jones, who stopped after getting about 3. And another timeout for Ole Miss. Smart play to run the ball right there. At least I would think so. Forcing Ole Miss to use their final timeout. So Georgia will punt. Ole Miss, their defense forced a 3 now. Good possession right there. And we'll see what the offense can do as they get it back here before halftime. Points before the half would be big. So 4th and 7. Georgia punted away. Ole Miss looks like they might come after this one. They do come after it. Not much pressure on the punt, though. And it's away cleanly. And it's fair call at the 26. So that is where Ole Miss takes over. 46 seconds left in the first half. And they're out of timeouts. But still plenty of time to try to put a drive together. And we'll see how aggressive Ole Miss gets right here before the half. I would say you probably got to take a couple chances right here. Obviously, we're getting into field goal range first, then focus on the touchdown, and take shots downfield. But we need to get points right here and cut it to a one-score game. Especially not getting the ball to start the second half. Chambliss to throw, plenty of time. Throws underneath, it's caught. And gain of 4. Clock is running, he stayed inbounds. No chance to get out of bounds. So second and 6, 30 seconds left. Chambliss throws over the middle again. That's cool. Oh, man. Huge hit. But Caden Lee pops right back up. That might be targeting. That might be targeting. A hit to the head or neck area of a defenseless receiver. Now, the problem is I don't know when somebody becomes defenseless or not. Yeah, he hit him with his shoulder, but it's to the head, so it might be targeting. So they do call targeting. Obviously, it is reviewed. Man, that is a huge hit. His mouthpiece went flying out. Man, I'm glad to see he's okay, and he pops right back up. That is a huge hit. Yeah, I think this has to be targeting. I mean, it's forcible contact at the head or neck area. He's a defenseless receiver. So they confirm the call. He is thrown out. And it's 15 yards. I know that's targeting, not a fan of the rule anyway. I mean, I don't like the rule either. I think it's pretty dumb. I mean, I understand the point of it. I don't like it. But, I mean, by definition of targeting, that is targeting. But a first down, the penalty puts Ole Miss inside field goal range at the 43-yard line. Chambliss going to look to throw here, gets pressured, but throws to the outside. It's incomplete. Harrison Wallace, the intended target, brings up 2nd and 10 with 19 seconds left. Trinidad Chambliss, 16 for 26, 152 and a touchdown. So 2nd and 10 from the 43. Chambliss can look to throw, and he throws underneath. Oh, it's dropped. It got dropped by the receiver. Brings up 3rd and 10. He would have had a first down, too, to stop the clock. I mean, obviously the incompletion does, but you don't get the 10 yards. The second drop of the day. This just goes right through his arms. Bad drop right there. Yeah, it's the third game streaming. It's been wanted to stream every playoff game, so it's been a lot, but I enjoy it. So 3rd and 10, play clock winding down. Don't want to take it away right here. They'll get the play off. Chambliss can look to throw. Chambliss throws the outside. It's called. Oh, why would you turn inside? Oh, why would you do that? Now you can't spike this. It's 4th down. They're gonna spike and not realize. That was so dumb. They couldn't spike it. It was 4th down. Chambliss didn't realize that, so he tries. He's gonna spike it, but then they run the field goal team on. That doesn't work. That was a disaster right there. You got the throw to the outside. That's great. Just pick up the 5 yards, go out of bounds. Don't worry about getting the extra yards. But it is now 21-12, as it stays that way at the half. And Georgia also gets the ball to start the second half. So not a great way to finish the half right there for Ole Miss. So they go back to this. Yeah, if he goes out of bounds at the 39-yard line, he gets 4, maybe 5 yards, and you'll stop the clock with about 8 seconds left. So then they start running the field goal unit onto the team. But Chambliss is going to try to spike it, although he can't do that because it's 4th down. But not great right there. For Ole Miss, their largest comeback of the season was down 10. Oh, what am I doing? Which I believe happened in the game against Oklahoma. Georgia 53 straight wins when leading at halftime. Longest active streak. That would be quite the streak for Ole Miss to snap. Georgia only gets better in the second half. Yeah, that's the bad part for Ole Miss. I mean, they're a second half team. Now, I mean, they did play pretty well in the first half, but this Georgia team has been on another level in the second half, so not looking the greatest for Ole Miss. But for Ole Miss, their largest comeback of the season was 10 points, which I believe was Oklahoma. I'm going to check that game right now. If it wasn't, I don't know which game that would be, though. They pretty much dominated every other game. Let's see. Against Oklahoma, they were down. No, they weren't down against Oklahoma. They were the ones with the lead. They were up 12 and then they blew it. But then they came back to win. So what game would that have been? It wasn't the Georgia game. What other game would that have been? It wasn't Georgia State. Kentucky or Arkansas, maybe? One of those early season games? Oh, you know what? They were down against Florida. I forgot about that game. They were down against Florida and it looked like they were going to lose that game for a while. They ended up winning by 10. No, they weren't down by 10, though. They were down 24-20 for majority of the second half, but not down by 10. So what game could this have been? It wasn't Arkansas. I have no idea what game that would have been. I mean, Yeah, I got no idea. Alright, so I looked it up and it said Kentucky, so apparently I missed that game. I just didn't see they were down 10. Oh, yeah, there they were. 10-0 in the second quarter. So that's their largest comeback. I completely scrolled past that. But I'm going to go take a quick break, use the bathroom, fill my water. I'll be back in a couple minutes. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Alright, I'm back. So we got a 21-12 Georgia lead at halftime. A pretty good first half for Georgia. And I mean, Ole Miss, I think they played pretty well, even though they find themselves down 9, which, I mean, kind of says a lot because they played pretty well, yet they're still down 9, so I don't know. But I mean, as far as an updated score prediction goes, I originally said Georgia 30-22. I'm gonna stick with Georgia, and I think we're gonna see a few more points scored. So let's take Georgia by a score of. Let's see, they're at 21 right now. I'll give them another touchdown to put them to 28. We'll give them another touchdown to put them to 35. We'll say 38 to. Let's see. 38-25-ish? No, let's go 38-27 Georgia. I think Ole Miss will be able to score. I mean, I know Georgia does get a lot better in the second half, but I mean, I just trust what I've seen from the Ole Miss offense. They've looked great. And I think they'll be able to continue to play at a fairly high level. 35-22. That's one I could definitely see. But we'll go over some stats from the first half. Trinidad Chambliss threw the ball a ton in that first half. 17 of 28 for 160 yards. And a touchdown, no interceptions. He also ran the ball 2 times for 8 yards. He had a pretty good first half. But 28 pass attempts is a ton. He only threw 29 in the first round. His season high for pass attempts in a game is 44 against Oklahoma. He might pass that up easily. Then Kewan Lacey running the football for Ole Miss, 12 carries, 66 yards. And as a team, Ole Miss ran it 14 times for 74 yards. That's 5.3 yards a carry. Pretty effective, especially against this defense. Then receiving for Ole Miss, Harrison Wallace in his first half. 5 catches for 54 yards. Dijon Stribling, 2 catches for 44 yards. Caden Lee, 3 for 19. Deuce Alexander, 2 for 13. Logan Diggs, 1 catch for 8 yards. Daquan Wright, 1 catch for 8 yards. He's the guy who didn't go out of bounds at the end of the half. Winston Watkins, 1 for 7. Caleb Odom has 1 catch for 4 yards, also a drop. And Luke has, how about that, has 1 catch for 3 yards and a touchdown. Then for Georgia, Stockton is 9 of 13 for 105 yards, no touchdowns or interceptions, although he did run for 2 touchdowns and 15 yards and 5 carries. Then for Nate Frazier, he ran it 8 times for 56 yards. Cass Jones, 2 carries for 11 yards. Chauncey Bowens, 2 carries for 5 yards. And Josh McCray, 1 carry for -2. And Georgia as a team that's 18 for 85, 2 touchdowns, 4.7 yards per carry. I mean, I do think the Ole Miss defense did a little bit better of a job against the run towards the end of the half. But that is still something we're going to focus on in the second half, being able to stop the run. Then receiving for Georgia, Nate Frazier has 2 catches for 31 yards. Cass Jones, 1 catch for 26 yards. Wow, how often do you see that? A team's top 2 receivers in a first half, both running backs. Well, I mean, Cass Jones catches the ball so often he's practically a receiver. And then you got Zachariah Branch, 4 catches for 19 yards. Oscar Delp, 1 catch for 16 yards. And Colby Young, 1 for 13. But a pretty good first half for Georgia through the air and on the ground. Cass Jones actually has more catches on the season than he has rush attempts, despite being a running back. He's got 11 carries, he's got 18 catches. And adding to his total from today, he's now got 13 carries and 19 catches. But, I mean, he's definitely a great pass-catching back. And Georgia, they've also got some great players who run the football a little bit more effectively. But then some team stats from the first half. Ole Miss with 13 first downs, Georgia with 11. Ole Miss 234 total yards, Georgia at 190. Ole Miss more passing yards, 160 to 105. But Georgia a little bit better on the ground, 85 rushing yards compared to 74 for Ole Miss. 3 penalties, 28 yards against Georgia. No penalties against Ole Miss. A turnover in the first half was a fumble loss by Huwan Lacey. They got brought back for a touchdown, which is really one of the biggest differences in this game right now. Because if not, you're looking at 14 to 12. But instead, it's a 9-point game and a 2-score game. And then time possession very even in that first half. 15-12 for Georgia, 14-48 for Ole Miss. But a pretty even first half. I mean, despite there being a 9-point gap on the scoreboard, I think Ole Miss played pretty well. Georgia also had a nice first half, especially on the ground, running the football. But I mean, still anyone's game. I mean, Ole Miss not necessarily in the best spot, not getting the ball to start the half, but if their defense can play pretty well, I would like their chances with the way the offense has been playing. Hold on 1 second. But the second half should start within the next few minutes. Let's see. We've been at halftime for... Alright, maybe not quite a few minutes. We still have another 5+ minutes of halftime. Hold on 1 second. But the winner of this game will move on to the Fiesta Bowl. And if we look at the bracket, we'll have Ole Miss and... I'm sorry. We'll have Oregon and Indiana in the Peach Bowl. That is next Friday, January 9th. And then January 8th, the Thursday, we will have Miami against either Georgia or Ole Miss in the Fiesta Bowl. Miami's very lucky that game does end up being the Fiesta Bowl, as opposed to having to play Georgia in Atlanta potentially in Peach Bowl. But both those games are going to be very interesting. We've already seen Oregon and Indiana play. Indiana opens the 4-point favorite. And then Miami against either Ole Miss or Georgia should be interesting as well. Last year, in the playoffs, we saw all the lower seeds from the quarterfinals advance. But last year we had an SEC team, 2 Big Ten teams, and an independent in the semifinals. This year we will have 2 Big Ten teams again. We'll have guaranteed to have an SEC team, and instead of it being an independent, it's an ACC team this year. So a pretty similar playoff so far. Last year, the Rose Bowl also wasn't close. Ohio State won by 20 in that game. But the second half we'll start within the next few minutes, hopefully. Because I'm kind of running out of things to say. Also, saw this before. Texas receiver Parker Livingstone going to enter the transfer portal. He had a pretty good year. The portal opens tomorrow. There's going to be so much chaos. I mean, there's already a ton of players in the portal. But I mean, there's already a lot of quarterbacks who are going to make big impacts in the portal. The portal officially opens tomorrow. I know Notre Dame's got a lot of guys entering the portal. Oh, I saw this before. I just opened up players who were going to hit the portal. Isaac Brown, the Louisville running back, can enter the portal. And he already knows where he's going. He's got a do not contact clause. I mean, he's going to be a big get for any team. He's been great. Cam Coleman, another big guy in the portal. True freshman from Auburn, was great. He's going to be a big-time receiver for whoever gets him. He had a great freshman season. Auburn didn't have a good quarterback. I'm interested to see where a lot of these quarterbacks end up. You've got Brendan Sorsby in the portal. He had a pretty good year. You've got Sam Levitt, who's going to be a huge player for whoever gets him. Dylan Raiola, former 5-star quarterback in the portal. DJ Wagway as well. As a Notre Dame fan, I'm interested to see where Kenny Minchie goes. I think he could make a big impact somewhere. I know I'm forgetting other guys as well. Who could I be forgetting? Oh, Drew Mestemaker, that's another one. I think he might go to Oklahoma State to follow Eric Morris, his head coach, but he's definitely one to watch. Byron Brown, yeah, he's a good one. From South Florida. I wouldn't be surprised if he also follows his coach and goes to Auburn. They sure can use a quarterback. Wow, CJ Bailey's in the portal? Oh, no, it says he hasn't quite entered the portal yet. But they're back from commercial here. The second half will start in a second. Georgia will get the ball first. Georgia outscored Ole Miss 21-6 in the third quarter. Garner Stockton ran for 2 touchdowns. And they also had a scoop and score. But Ole Miss has it teed up. Georgia will get it first to start the third quarter. Already up by 9. Ole Miss defense needs to get a stop on this drive. Cannot go down even further. So definitely doable for Ole Miss to come back. Especially with how good their offense is. But we're going to need the defense to get some stops. Can't be allowing more points. But the mistakes for Ole Miss, you got the big fumble. That got returned for a touchdown, which is a huge part in the game right now. Then they've also had multiple passes that got dropped. And you've also got the disaster before the half. Where they could have gone out of bounds, had time. Kick a field goal, but instead he turns inside. It doesn't go out. And unable to stop the clock. And You're not even stopped the clock, which is unable to get into their playoff. But 1st and 10 here for Georgia on their own 25 after the touchback. Branch goes in motion, and Stockton fakes it to the back. Stockton throws. Oh man, that almost got picked off. Almost picked off by a lineman, ends up getting knocked down. Wow, that would have been a game-changing play. He got batted down. Ole Miss has 4 drops today, which ties their most in a game this season. Oh, and they also missed a 2-point attempt. See, now that's why I don't like going for 2, right there, because if you didn't attempt the 2-point conversion, just went for the 1 point, you would only be down by 1 score right now, and it'd be 21-13. Stockton keeps them in the option here, and I'll pick up 4, maybe 5 yards. Brings up 3rd down for Georgia. But yeah, if you didn't go for 2 right there, I mean, if you got the 2-point conversion, yeah, that's great. It's a 7-point game. But if you didn't get it, or if you didn't go for 2, it would be a 1-score game, 21-13, 8 points. Obviously, you need a touchdown or a 2-point conversion eventually, but it's a completely different game. So 3rd and 6. Stockton in shotgun. Cass Jones to his right. Ole Miss brings 4. Stockton gonna run it here, and he goes nowhere. Taken down to the line of scrimmage, and the Ole Miss defense forces a 3 and out on the first drive of the half. That's the stop they needed. It was a designed quarterback run, and a great play. Up front by number 52, able to get in the backfield. I'm not sure who that is, but it makes a nice play. So Georgia goes 3 and out. Thorson on to punt it away. Harrison Wallace back deep to receive. And Wallace calls fair catch at the 20-yard line. Maybe the 21-yard line, actually. But a nice 3 and out forced by the Ole Miss defense to start the half. And let's see what the offense can do. A good first half. It would move the ball effectively. Let's see if that continues. But in the first meeting, Ole Miss was up 9. That was going to the 4th quarter. Now here Georgia's up 9 at halftime. So maybe it's this time it's Ole Miss's turn to come back. So 1st and 10 from the 21. Chambliss in shotgun back to his left. Chambliss throws outside back. Shoulder is caught. Whoa, what a catch. That is a great throw and catch. About 19 yards right there on 1st down. Dijon Stribling with his 2nd nice catch of the game. He's got 3 catches for 63 yards. The Oklahoma State transfer. So 1st and 10 here for Ole Miss. From the 40. Chambliss in shotgun. Lacey to his right. And Chambliss hands off. Somebody lost their helmet. And he's still going to make the tackle. Lacey stopped the line of scrimmage. Now, that guy who lost his helmet's got to come out for a play. I don't really understand what the point of that rule is. Because it's not like they have to get evaluated for a concussion or anything. If they lose their helmet, they got to come out for a play. That's like the dumbest rule ever. So 2nd and 10. Chambliss fires one over the middle, and that's caught by Wallace for a gain of 8. Man, he threw that hard. So it brings up 3rd and short here for Ole Miss. 3rd and 2. And here's a quick throw to the outside. Caden Wee makes the catch, and he did not get there. Wee taken down a yard short. He got 1, needed 2. And this is an interesting decision right here for Pete Golding and Ole Miss. They tried to go quickly, just set up the screen. But Wee ends up short. He had to get to midfield, but did not get there. I think I might consider going for this. And Ole Miss will go for it. They got the offense on the field. They're 4th in the SEC in conversions, 20 for 29 on the season. Bring Wallace across the formation. It's a direct snap to Wasey, and Wasey got stuffed. Did not get there. Kiwan Wasey stopped at the line of scrimmage, and the Georgia defense forced a turnover on downs. I don't really like that call right there. If you want to run a quarterback like that, run Chambliss and use Lacey as an extra blocker. But not a huge fan of that call right there. And the Georgia defense forced a turnover on downs. And they get the ball back with great starting field position inside Ole Miss territory. With 11:10 to go in the 3rd quarter. Yeah, not a huge fan of that call. But Georgia starts inside Ole Miss territory for their next drive on the 49-yard line. So we'll see what they can do on their next drive. 3 and out on the first drive of the half. Ole Miss also Ole Miss also didn't do much. 28 yards on 5 plays, and obviously turned it over on downs. But we wait for them to come back from commercial here. Hold on 1 second. But a 9-point Georgia lead. They got it back here for their second possession of the second half. So they go back to the 4th down play right here. They have Lacey take the direct snap, and there's just no push up front. Nowhere for him to go. He runs in the back of his lineman who just gets driven back. And, yeah, that's a tough play right there for Ole Miss. Here's a toss to Nate Frazier to the left side. And Frazier stopped after gain of a yard. It's a nice play there for the defense. They've really done a much better job after those, 2 drives where they just got run over. But they've done a nice job against the run. Nate Frazier's run it 9 times for 57 yards. He was at 5 or 50 earlier in the game. They've really done a much better job. So 2nd and 9. And Frazier again gets the carry, and again he's stopped at the line of scrimmage for no gain. The ball popped out at the end right here. Ole Miss thinks they have it. They're going to rule the play was over before that happened. Stockton got tripped by his lineman, and Stockton also tripped his lineman. They tripped over each other. But Stockton was able to get that handoff off. That was pretty impressive. But it's 3rd and 9. This is a big opportunity for the Ole Miss defense to get a stop, not let the turnover hurt him, or the turnover on downs hurt him. Stockton throws outside. It is caught by Young, but he's going to be a yard short of a first down. A flag is down. This might be holding. It's right where the catch was. It's probably going to be defensive, although I guess there's a chance to push off. Although, if he did push off, it didn't create much separation. It is defensive pass interference. It's the first penalty against Ole Miss. Not really sure I love that call. Let's get a replay of it right here. Oh, that's a terrible call. There's no pass interference right there. So 1st and 10, a handoff to Nate Frazier to the left side. And again, he has nowhere to go. Because he got just a yard, maybe 2. They give him 2 on 1st down to make it 2nd and 8. So Stockton in shotgun. Bowens to his right. Bring Dylan Bell in motion. And they hand it to him on the sweep. And Bell. Oh, he's going to throw it here. Dylan Bell. Wow, I did not realize there was a pass play right there. I thought that was just a jet sweep. He got rid of it at the last second. It ends up incomplete, but it would have lost right there and just throw that away. They try a trick play right there. Ends up being incomplete, so it's 3rd down. So another 3rd down here for Georgia. They just converted one because of a penalty. Stockton to throw, Jones to his left. And Stockton throws outside, it's incomplete. Dylan Bell, the target, wanted a flag. But there is no flag this time, and it's 4th down. So 4th and 8. Peyton Woodring going to come on to attempt a long field goal. This will tie a career long, which is set in week 1 of last season against Clemson. So from 55, Woodring's kick on the way, and it is no good. Came up short. Was on line, just did not have the distance. So it stays 21-12, and the Ole Miss defense gets another stop. And now they need the offense to get going. I mean, if the defense is going to play like this and get a couple stops, I mean, they're very much in this game. But now they just need the offense to get going. So it comes up short. It's 21-12. 8:33 to go in the 3rd quarter. And Ole Miss gets the ball really good field position after the missed field goal, because that was a long one. So after the missed field goal, they'll take over their own 37 after a 55-yarder was missed. Not every day I see Peyton Woodring miss a field goal. One of the best kickers in the country. 93.8% on the season. He's 15 of 16. In his career, he's 57 of 64. He had not missed longer than 50 yards this season. That's his first. His season long was 53. So that would have been a new season long for him, but obviously ends up no good. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial here. Ole Miss getting the football back. And we're going to need to do something right here. Since when do Puka Nacua and Fred Warner have a commercial together? That doesn't even make sense. They're on rival teams. Unless maybe it does make sense. I didn't even watch the commercial. I just saw it. The very end of it. But wait for them, or actually, they just got back from commercial. Ole Miss with the ball at their own 37 after the missed field goal. Chambliss and the offense back on the field. Down by 9. 8:33 to go in the third quarter. So Chambliss in shotgun, Lacey to his right. Bring a receiver in motion. That's Dijon Stribling. And they throw it to him underneath, and Stribling's got space out of the catch, has a first down. He's out of bounds near midfield. Gain of 12, he moves to 6. He's had a nice game so far. 75 yards and just 4 catches. Here's a handoff to Lacey. And Lacey with a nice run. He gets another 7 or 8 yards to the Georgia 42. So second down here. 2nd and 3. Chambliss in shotgun. And getting hands off. Lacey, nice move in the backfield. Spins away from another guy, but then he slammed down at the line of scrimmage. A lot of running there just to gain nothing. So it brings up 3rd and 3 for Ole Miss. Got to be thinking 4-down territory. Even though you're technically right at field goal range, and I know your kicker's been great so far, I still think I might go for it if you're on a 4th and short right here. It's only 3rd down right here. But if you get the 4th down, it's still 4th and 2, 4th and 3. I think I'd go for it. Chambliss in shotgun here back to his left. Stribling again comes in motion. And they toss it to him on touch pass. And he's just going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Barely. That did not look good from the start. He actually almost dropped the flip to him. So it's 4th and 3 here. I'm going for it. A field goal would make it a 1-score game. You have kicked it pretty well, but I would go for it, and Ole Miss will. The offense stays out in the field. This is also a long field goal. I know he's made from 56 in the game, but this one would be from, I don't know, even further. That would be 61. I don't know where they have the field goal target line so far, or why they do. Chambliss throwing 4th down all kinds of time. Over the middle, open receiver. Caught by Harrison Wallace. Making a move inside the 20. Wallace inside the 10. Dragged down at the 9. A nice catch and run there for Harrison Wallace. That starts with a great blocking up front. And a 1st and goal for Ole Miss. A huge 4th down conversion. Harrison Wallace with 36 yards on the play. 22 of them after the catch. So 1st and goal from the 8. A touchdown puts him right back in this. Bring a receiver in motion. And Chambliss fakes it to him. Going to keep him himself on the run up the middle for a gain of about 2. Brings up 2nd and goal. .5:15 to go in the third quarter. A 6-play, 56-yard drive for Ole Miss. So second and goal. Chambliss and shotgun. Lacey to his left. Got a ton of rushing touchdowns in the season. They hand it to Lacey, trying to bounce the outside. Lacey turns the corner and scores. Kiwan Lacey with another rushing touchdown. I believe that's number 19 for him on the season. And Ole Miss has coded to a one-score game. It is now 21-18. And they're still going to add the extra point. 7 plays, 63 yards. They take 3:42 off the clock. What a drive, and they're right back in it. We're never really out of it with how good this offense is. So the extra point here. And the extra point is good. 21-19. Lacey with another rushing touchdown. This time it's from 7 yards. And it's a 2-point game. Let's see. Kawan Lacey. That's actually rushing touchdown number 22. Why do I think they said he was at 18 touchdowns before? But he's got 22 rushing touchdowns in the season. He's had a great year for Ole Miss. That's second in the country. The only guy ahead of him was Caleb Hawkins of North Texas, who got 25, that is absurd. But a 2-point game, Ole Miss, and they've got a chance to pull off the upset. I mean, it's a 2-point game. The defense looks really good here to start the second half. And the offense continues to move the ball effectively. For Ole Miss, they're up to 325 yards, and they've only got 197 from Georgia. But wait for them to come back from commercial. And let's see how Georgia responds to this right here. Now only up by 2. So Georgia gets it back, a 2-point game. Closest it's been since it was 14-12. Oh, Kirby Smart was all the way out in the field for that touchdown, claiming for a hold, or trying to get a hold, call from the official, but there was no flag, and touchdown stands. So the kick is away, and it goes through the end zone for a touchback, which is very smart. Don't want to give Zachariah Branch an opportunity to return that. So it's 21-19. And it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The key play of the last drive, a 36-yard completion on a 4th and 3, and also a 7-yard touchdown run for Kawan Lacey, his 22nd of the season. Stockton to throw it on first down, and he's going to roll to his right and just throw it away. So it brings up 2nd and 10. So Stockton in shotgun, Bowens to his right. And we'll hand it off here, Bowens, trying to get to the outside. And he'll gain about 4 before he's stopped. But very quickly, it's third down here for Georgia. So it'll be 3rd and 6. 4:25 to go in the third quarter. Georgia 3 of 8 on third down. Ole Miss is even worse. They're 3 for 10. Stockton throws. Oh man, almost got picked off by a lineman. But it brings up 4th and 5. Wow. That's the second time he's almost gotten picked off by a defensive lineman. It might have been the same guy. I'm not quite sure. Oh man, that could have been a huge play. 52 as they hit him right in the face mask. And it bounces off his arm and he tries to tip it back to himself, but unable to do that. And Georgia flips the formation here on the punt, and it's a fake. They're going to run a fake punt. Jones flips it back. He's going to look to throw it here, and an open receiver is Lawson Welke at the 46-yard line. They fake the punt, and it's a first down for Georgia. I was just about to switch the ball marker, but then I saw them shift the formation a little bit, and I knew they were going to do something. Kirby Smart calls the fake punt. And it's a gain of 16. So it's a direct snap to Cass Jones, who they wind up as the up man. And then he flips it back to who looks like a receiver. And he finds Lawson Welke downfield at the 46-yard line. That is a huge play right there for Georgia. Because right there, Ole Miss would have all the momentum. The touchdown, forcing a 3 and out. That is huge. Stockton goes deep down the field. Stockton is incomplete. Humphreys the target. Overthrew him, and it's 2nd and 10. I really don't hate that call right there, going deep to play after the fake punt. See if you can get 2 big plays in a row right there. So it's 2nd and 12. 3:07 to go in the third quarter. Stockton, play action. Gonna run himself here. And Stockton now. Oh no, he throws a jump pass to Young down the sideline. And Kobe Young knocked down at the 23. The defender got put in a tough spot right there. He had to make a decision. Cover Young or attack Stockton. He tries to do both. Ends up attacking Stockton as he gets close to the line of scrimmage. But he just flips it right over his head. And Kobe Young, a nice catch and run. Although Stockton took another big hit on that play. Stockton going to run it again here. And Stockton thought he lost the ball for a second. But he's able to hold on. And he's a little slow to get up. He's taking some huge hits in this game. But he looks to be okay. So Stockton play action here, can look to throw again. Stockton throws the flat for Branch, and he's knocked out of bounds after getting just about 2 or 3. Ole Miss has done a pretty good job making sure he's at a quiet game. Outside of that one catch and run, he really hasn't done much. He's got 5 catches for 21 yards, and I think, I don't know, like 18 of them, I think. Maybe 16 or 18 came in one play. Gunnar Stockton's thrown for 139, and he's also run for 20 yards and 2 touchdowns. Stockton in shotgun, Jones to his left. During London Humphreys across the formation. Stockton fakes the screen, gets pressured, Stockton steps up, and Stockton spins away from one guy, but then he gets sacked. Back at the 20-yard line, a nice stop for the Ole Miss defense. And Kirby Smart kick a field goal right here. Would put him up by 5. Pretty much heading to the fourth quarter with 45 seconds left in the third. So we just saw Woodring miss from 55, but from 37, this one should be good with how good he is. And Woodring's kick, yep, right down the middle. So 24-19, Georgia leads Ole Miss. And the Ole Miss defense playing pretty well here. They've allowed just 3 points in the second half. They've actually only allowed 17 offensive points. But the defense for Ole Miss playing pretty well. If it wasn't for that fumble that got returned for a touchdown, they'd be in the lead right now, 19-17. But a big field goal right there extends the lead, makes that a field goal does not take the lead for Ole Miss. They need another touchdown. Hold on 1 second. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. We got 30 seconds left in the third quarter, a 5-point Georgia lead. But Ole Miss moving the ball. We'll see if they can continue that and keep it up. But still anyone's game, a one-score game. Headed to the fourth quarter unless Ole Miss scores in the next 30 seconds. So Georgia going to kick this off here up by 5 late in the third quarter. And the kick is touchback and it will come out at the 25. Bounces in the end zone. Watson Wilkie caught the fake punt. He caught 3 touchdowns in the game against Ole Miss on the first game. He had 5 catches for 53 yards and 3 touchdowns. And now he's another huge catch in this game. So 1st and 10. They hand it off here. Alexander, the left side. Or right side. Yeah, no, the left side. What am I saying? He's tripped up for a loss of a yard. And that might take us to the fourth quarter. Let's see. Ole Miss lined up to run another play. They got 10 seconds. They don't have to run a play. But they could. Here, so they will not run another play. We head to the fourth quarter. Georgia leading 24-19, but the best game today by a lot. And this is really the only game of there. It's really been a game heading to the fourth quarter. I mean, Alabama, Indiana was not close, and I guess Oregon, Texas Tech was, still close-ish, although that game never really became anything. Yeah, that game was only 13-0 heading to the fourth quarter, so that was still definitely possible for Texas Tech to come back, but obviously they ended up doing nothing, so they ended up doing nothing, so it's nothing that's too memorable. But we head to the fourth quarter, 24-19. Ole Miss outgaining Georgia, 324 to 253. Georgia outgained Ole Miss in the first matchup by a lot. They had over 500 yards of offense. Ole Miss at 351. Ole Miss almost reached that mark in 3 quarters in this game, despite there not being nearly as many points scored. But Ole Miss was up 9 heading to the fourth quarter of the first game before Georgia outscored them 17-0. So the score going to the fourth quarter there was 35-26. Ole Miss. Obviously here it's flipped the other way. Although not quite 9 points, instead it's 5. 24-19. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. Georgia, they've won 53, I think it is, straight. When leading at the half, they've won 75 straight. When up entering the fourth quarter. It's the longest active streak. So, they're in a position they're very comfortable with. Obviously, they're winning, so why would you not be comfortable with that? But we'll see if that streak can continue or if Ole Miss can put an end to it. So, 2nd and 11 as we start the fourth quarter. Chambliss in shotgun going to look to throw. Chambliss pressured, dancing around. Chambliss shovel pass it forward to Lacey. Nice play. And Lacey stays in bounds. Let's see. Did he step out? And this is an insane play from Trinidad Chambliss. He gets pressure from the right side. There's pressure from the left side. Was able to roll out to his left a little bit and then just shovel pass it forward to Kewan Lacey. Well, I think he stays in bounds for a first down. Ooh, he might step out right there. But that's after he got the first down, though. Oh, no, he actually stepped out way shorter than that. Or way sooner. It's actually 3rd and 7. Although I never saw him step out. Chambliss pressured. Rolling right. Backpedaling. Chambliss. Back near his own goal line. Now rolling to his left. Chambliss, again, on the run. Throws downfield. It's caught! Caught by Lacey for a first down! What a play by Trinidad Chambliss for a first down! Wow, he did a lot of running on that play. But it all worked out. And the nice job by Kewan Lacey to make the catch, fight through a hit, hold on to the ball, and get a first down. This is a crazy play for Trinidad Chambliss. He goes all the way back to his own goal line here. This is an absurd play. . The Georgia defender hit Kewan Lacey so hard he hurt himself instead of hurting Kewan. I'm not like you're trying to hurt somebody, but he hurt himself. He hit him so hard. Yeah, Lacey just had to bounce off it. So 1st and 10. First and 10 here for Ole Miss. CJ Allen's over on the sideline for some reason for Georgia. I'm not sure what happened there. So Chambliss off play action, pressured quickly, able to escape again, rolling to his right on the run. Throws one deep downfield, and it's caught. What a throw by Chambliss on the run as he finds Harrison Wallace down at the 25. Man, this guy's fun to watch. What a play by Trinidad Chambliss. This is a perfect throw on the run, like 35 yards downfield. He's thrown for 291 and a touchdown, 26 of 37 passing. Going to throw again here. He throws the flat for Stribling, makes the catch, hurdles the guy, and he's out of bounds after a gain of 8. Another nice play for Dejon Stribling. And another nice play for the Ole Miss offense. So here's a 2nd and 2. Well, is Georgia like subbing their entire front 7? I know they rotate a lot of guys, but they might have just brought in an entire new front 7. Play clock winding down here because Georgia took forever to sub. They'll get the play off. Chambliss hands off. Lacey breaks one tackle and has a first down as he falls forward to the 10-yard line, setting Ole Miss up 1st and goal. Trinidad Chambliss in the 4th quarter against Georgia, he went 1 for 10 for 1 yard, but today he's already 4 for 4 for 64 yards. He's made some big-time throws over the last few plays. So 1st and goal from the 10. Empty backfield for Chambliss. Chambliss. They motion right across the formation. Chambliss design run to the right side, and he's out of bounds at the 5. So it brings up 2nd and goal. Ole Miss got outscored 17-0 in the 4th quarter against Georgia the first time. We can get some points right here with 11:45 to go in the 4th. Chambliss in shotgun, Lacey was right. 22 rushing scores on the season. Now Lacey to his left. Chambliss going to hand it to Lacey up the middle. Lacey into the end zone. Touchdown, Ole Miss. Kewan Lacey with his 23rd touchdown of the year. His 2nd of the game, and Ole Miss on top with 11:29 to go. Wow, what a game this has been. Ole Miss retakes the lead. This game sure makes up for all the other semifinal or quarterfinal games so far. Lacey, yep, he definitely reaches the ball across. He's in. Wow. And what a drive for Ole Miss. And they will go for 2 to try to make a field goal game. I mean, if you didn't go for 2 before, you wouldn't have to worry about this. An extra point would make a field goal game. But I can understand this right here. Chambliss pressured, throws, end zone, caught. 2-point conversion is good. Harrison Wallace, who else? Another big catch. And it's 27-24 Ole Miss. There's still 11 and a half minutes to go. Miami and Ohio State went to the end. Okay, that is true. That is true. That game also came down to the wire. Boy, this game, I mean, this one's been the best. Easily. Been back and forth the entire time. And it's a 3-point Ole Miss lead with 11 and a half to go. But this game definitely makes up for the two games we saw earlier today. Trinidad Chambliss is now thrown for 299 yards and a touchdown. Kejuan Lacey's run for 89 and 2 touchdowns. And Ole Miss with 400 yards of offense. Ole Miss outscoring Georgia 15-3 here in the second half. But that drive for Ole Miss, they went 8 plays, 75 yards. They took 4:01 off the clock. And they've now got back-to-back touchdown drives of 63 yards on 7 plays, and now 75 yards on 8 plays. This game's what I thought Oregon and Texas Tech would be. Yeah, me too. I picked this game to actually finish 27-24. I thought that game would be so fun, but instead it was not great. I mean, the defense has played well, but Texas Tech couldn't get anything going offensively. And the game was not nearly as good as I thought it would be. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. 11:29 to go in the fourth quarter. A 3-point lead for Ole Miss. Let's see how Georgia responds. Kicked a field goal on their last drive after the fake punt. And let's see what they do here. They go back to the 2-point attempt, and this is a crazy play for Chambliss. He just kind of throws it to somebody who's completely covered when he throws the ball, because he just has to get rid of it with the defender right in his face. But that's another great play made by Trinidad Chambliss. The kickoff is away, and a touchback, so we brought out to the 25-yard line. But the last drive for Ole Miss, they had some crazy plays. Chambliss had that one where he had the shovel pass. I forgot about that. Then had the one where he ran all the way back to the goal line. And then he also had the one where he just threw a 35-yard dime to Harrison Wallace. But he has been insanely good for Ole Miss. So Stockton in shotgun back to his left here. Stockton off play action gets pressured. Stockton is going to get tripped up. Keep his balance. Wow. And Stockton going to gain 3 on the play. I'm not sure how he avoided the sack right there. But he's able to escape, make a positive play. I mean, Stockton definitely should have gotten sacked. There was 2 guys an opportunity to get him on the ground, and they couldn't. So it's 2nd and 6. Stockton, 11 of 20 for 139 yards. He's also run for 2 scores. He hands it off to Frazier to the left side here, and Nate Frazier got to gain 3. This Ole Miss defense has really done a nice job against the run. They got run over early in the game, but they've done a great job adjusting and finding a way to stop the run. So it's 3rd and 3. Stockton in shotgun back to his right. Stockton gonna look to throw. He's gonna try to scramble here and he's short. Stockton got a yard, but he ends up 3 yards short. And it's 4th down. Though Ole Miss with an injured defender down the field. Harris was slow to get up on the previous play. And now here he's hurt. Looks like he's grabbing his right shoulder. Hopefully he's okay. No way Ole Miss is winning. This has been a crazy game. This is went a crazy drive. Take the lead. So they'll go to a commercial for the injury timeout. And now, if you're Georgia, you're down by 3. 10 minutes to go. You've got a 4th and 2 right here. But you're inside your own 35-yard line. You're on your own 34. Punt. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think you have to punt right here, but I don't know if you can trust your defense. That sounds so weird to say for Georgia. I mean, the defense, they've got touchdowns in back-to-back drives. They've got 27 points. I mean, I guess you have to. I almost wouldn't be shocked if we see Georgia try to do something, whether it's draw them off sides or... This was a very similar spot to what Notre Dame did last year. They were inside their own territory pretty deep. I think they were at like around 20. They had the punt team on the field, and then they switched. They ran the offense back on, and then they got Georgia to jump off sides. Now, we've already seen Georgia do that this year. But I could see Kirby Smart doing something weird like that. And if it doesn't work, then punting it away. But we wait for them to come back from commercial here. 4th and a yard or 2 here for Georgia. (27-24), 10 minutes to go, 9:59 to be exact. So let's see what Georgia does here. I mean, they're at their own 34. They faked a punt on their last possession. I doubt they'd fake it on back-to-back possessions. But they got the punt team out there. And, oh, wait a minute. Here we go. The offense run back onto the field. I just called that. They're going to run the offense back out there. It's 4th and 2 from their own 35. So Stockton, empty backfield. And they're going to snap the ball. Stockton pressured and sacked. Gunnar Stockton goes down. Ball comes out. Ole Miss football inside Georgia territory. Wow, I was not expecting them to snap the ball right there. If anything, try to draw them off sides, just punt it away. But wow, that is a huge gamble for Georgia, and it does not work out. And now Ole Miss with the ball deep inside Georgia territory with an opportunity to go up 10. Wow. I'm not sure what their left tackle is doing right there. He just does not block the guy who's standing right next to him. It ends up being a free rusher off the edge. And Stockton gets sacked. Bad decision, yeah, I agree. So Chambliss is going to look to throw. Throws over the middle, it's caught by Wright, and he's chopped down for a gain of 11. First down, Ole Miss. So 1st and 10 from the 13 here for Ole Miss. Chambliss in shotgun back to his right. Chambliss takes a shot. Back shoulder. End zone caught. Touchdown. Harrison Wallace. What a throw and catch. And Ole Miss is about to go up by 10. With 9 minutes to play. Wow. What a throw and catch. Another perfect throw for Trinidad Chambliss. 33-24. About to be 34-24 with 9:02 to play. Wow. They need just 2 plays after the turnover on downs. They're in the end zone again for the 3rd straight possession. And the extra point right down the middle. 34-24 Ole Miss. Wow. That call might have cost them the game. Yeah, it really might. I'm now down 10 with 9 minutes left. Man, that back shoulder throw was just so nice. So how strange is this? Ole Miss up by 10. They couldn't beat Georgia with Lane Kiffin, but they're going to beat them without Lane Kiffin. Maybe Pete Golding's just better. Yeah, that was a really nice play. The throw, the catch, all of it. Trinidad Chambliss has a Sugar Bowl record 13 straight completions. And in the second half, he's 12 for 12 for 128 yards, or 26 yards, I think that said. He's also thrown a touchdown. The kickoff here blasted through the end zone for a touchback, and Georgia takes over down 10 with 9 minutes to play. Or 9 minutes to go, 9:02. Winner faces Miami in the semifinal. Which, I mean, if you're Miami, I feel like you're probably rooting for Ole Miss right here. Because I think they match up a lot better against Ole Miss than they do Georgia. But that would be a really interesting matchup with 2 contrasting styles. So 4th quarter yards. Ole Miss had 13 in the first meeting. They've already got over 100 here in the 4th quarter today. And Georgia, I think 143 in the first. And the not many right here. So Stockton, the offense, back on the field. Stockton launching deep downfield, and that pass is incomplete. There's a flag that comes in, though. This probably pass interference right here. There was definitely contact. So they will call pass interference. I mean, that's definitely interference. I mean, he just never lets the receiver have an opportunity to catch the ball. So 1st and 10 after the penalty, ball now on the 40. Stockton, with time, checks down to Frazier, who breaks the tackle and gains 11. And now Georgia going to go quick. So Stockton in shotgun back to his left from the 49, the Ole Miss 49. And they'll hand it off here. Frazier, with some space, going to break another tackle and gain another 11 yards. Again, Georgia going to go quick. Nate Frazier's run it 13 times for 73 yards. 8:15 to go. So from the 38, Stockton in shotgun. Frazier lined up to his left. Stockton pump fakes the screen, has plenty of time to throw, and Stockton throws over the middle. It's high. Wow, incomplete. Too high for Colby Young. There was a defender right back there, but it ends up being a little bit wide for him to potentially make a play. Stockton's hand is bleeding. I'm not sure if you realize that. Gunnar Stockton's been great in the fourth quarter against ranked opponents. He's got just 3 incompletions and 6 touchdown passes against ranked opponents in the fourth quarter. But tonight, not as good. Gonna look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Ole Miss brings just 3. Stockton throws wide open receiver down to the 20-yard line. A huge play right there, number 18. I'm not sure who that is, but a nice play, wide open. Gets it all the way down to the 18. We now reach the halfway point here in the fourth quarter. So from the 18, Stockton in shotgun back to his left. Lawson Lucky goes in motion. And Stockton gonna look to throw. Throws outside, incomplete. Thomas the intended target. We've had a couple touchdowns against Texas. Well, unable to complete that one on the back shoulder throw. So 2nd and 10, Branch goes in motion. Ole Miss brings a blitz. Stockton has time, throws, end zone, caught, touchdown, Zachariah Branch, what a catch. Georgia is right back in it. A great throw from Stockton, a really nice catch from Zachariah Branch. 18-yard touchdown, and Georgia's right back in it. The extra point make it a 3-point game. Georgia goes right down the field. 6 plays, 75 yards in just 2 minutes. What a drive. That's one way to respond to going down 10. Take just 2 minutes, make it a 3-point game. As Woodring hits the extra point. 34-31. Ole Miss leads. Stockton 3 for 5, 49 yards and a touchdown on that drive. I mean, Zachariah Branch was actually falling to the ground as he made that catch. That was a great catch. Getting good now. Come on, dogs. Keep your bracket alive. Yeah, this game's been great. But, now this is a very interesting situation right here for Ole Miss. You're up by 3, so a lot of time left. 7:03 left in the clock. Your touchdown drives haven't been very long. 29 seconds, 4 minutes, 3:40. 3 minutes. That's the length of your touchdown drives. So, I mean, Ole Miss can score quickly, but I feel like you might want to slow the pace down a little bit right here. Run the ball, go up 10, leave not much time left. I think that's probably the best decision right here for Ole Miss. Because obviously we know they can go fast. They like to play fast. I think I saw before they play the 3rd fastest pace in the country. But I think your best chance right here is to slow it down, run the ball, score another touchdown, and go up by 10. Now, obviously, you can throw the ball. I'm not saying you can't throw the ball at all. Especially with how well you've been throwing it. But I think you've got to try to take some time off the clock on this drive. But a 3-point game. 7:02 to go. Trinidad Chambliss thrown for 322 and 2 touchdowns. Gunnar Stockton thrown for 188 and has got 3 total touchdowns. 1 passing, 2 rushing. So the kick is away. And a touchback. So Ole Miss will get it at the 25-yard line. Up by 3. So 1st and 10. Chambliss in shotgun. Lacey to his right. From the 25. They're going to hand it off here. Lacey gets the carry. Trying to bounce outside. Going to be able to turn the corner lower the shoulder. And it'll gain 6 yards. Now you got to make sure you hold on the football here too. If you're Ole Miss and keep on Lacey. He did fumble before and it got returned for a touchdown. So ball security is big right here. So it's 2nd and 3. So, I mean, Ole Miss runs the ball right there on 1st down, but they're still going to snap this with 15 in the play clock. Maybe not. Now we're at 15. No, they do snap at 15. Lacey gets the carry again. Might have got his face mask pulled. No flag. And Lacey gets taken down for a loss of 2. Oh, he for sure got his face mask pulled. I don't know how you don't throw a flag right there. Man, almost got robbed right there. I don't know how you missed that. So it's 3rd and 5. Chambliss throws knocked down at the line of scrimmage and incomplete. Well, that missed call is going to end up being huge. Because Georgia forces a 3 now. They're going to get the ball right back here. While Ole Miss should still have the ball. Wow. So it's 4th and 5. Ole Miss to punt. And the punt here ends up being bouncing to Zachariah Branch. And he takes it at the 25-yard line. Branch trying to get to the outside. Stiff arms the guy. And is able to turn the corner kind of. And he's taken down to 35. Georgia's second half comebacks. They've trailed by 8 against Tennessee. They've trailed by 7 against Auburn. 9 against Ole Miss. 3 against Florida. They won all 4 of those games. We got 5:33 to go. Stockton hands off here. Frazier up the middle has got space. Nate Frazier 1st down. Gain of 12 on the play. We got 5:18 to go. 1st and 10 here for Georgia. Down by 3. I really can't believe that missed face mask might actually cost him the game. It's not like you can barely see it. That's like one of the most obvious face masks like ever. Still no idea how they missed that. With Stockton in shotgun here. Frazier shifts to behind him. And here's a handoff. Frazier stopped at the line of scrimmage. Actually got a yard right there. Uh-oh, Nate Frazier's hurt. Hopefully he's okay. Yeah, it's been a long day. I've been streaming for quite a bit. Probably, what, 9 hours now? Somewhere around there. But I love streaming, so I don't mind it at all. Hopefully Frazier's okay. He's had a really nice game. But he'll limp his way off the field. So it's 2nd down and 8 right here, 4:39 to go. Stockton under center here. McCray is the back. And they're going to hand it off to McCray. Trying to get to the outside. He's going nowhere. Lost a yard, maybe 2. And it brings up 3rd down. This is a huge 3rd down right here. 4:05 to go in the 4th quarter. 3rd and 9 or 10 here for Georgia. Officially marked a 3rd and 9. 3:50 to go. So Stockton in shotgun. Cass Jones is the back one to his left. They shift the formation. Stockton looks to throw. Stockton checks down to Jones in the flat. And Jones taken down at the line of scrimmage. A nice tackle right there. They weren't able to tackle Cass Jones to play in the first half. They would take him down right there. And Ole Miss, the defense gets a stop. And I think Georgia might go for this. Ole Miss calls timeout. So it's the first timeout spent by either side here in the first half. Oh, sorry, the second half. Said it as you put it in. Oh, it's alright. You got a decision to make right here if you're Kirby Smart. You're at your own 47-yard line. Oh man, Branch was wide open. But, yeah, you got a decision right here. 3:13 to go. It's 4th and 9, and the offense is going to come back out on the field. Because there's no guarantee you get the ball back. And if you don't get this, you're going to hope your defense can hold them to 3. Both teams 1 for 2 on 4th down here. Georgia with a 4th and 9 at their own 48. It's where it's officially spotted. Got to get to the Ole Miss 43. Stockton to throw. Ole Miss brings just 2. And Stockton throws. Caught by Zachariah Branch for a first down. To the 35-yard line, they move the sticks on 4th down. A big play through the air. 3 minutes to go. Branch, 7 catches for 57 yards and a touchdown. Ole Miss only brought 2, with a spy on Stockton. But somebody's still able to get open downfield. Pressure still affected Stockton a little bit too. Gonna throw it here, Stockton. Rolling left flag comes in. This is gonna be a hold. and Stockton just throws it away. 2:36 to go. So a hold against the offense, backs him up 10. Make it 1st and 20 with 2:36 to go. So still 3 timeouts for Georgia, 2 for Ole Miss. Ball on the Ole Miss 46. Stockton to throw, plenty of time. And that pass batted down at the line of scrimmage and incomplete. Brings up a 2nd and 20, 2:32 to go. Both quarterbacks seen their fair share of passes knocked down at the line of scrimmage. I think Stockton's seen a little bit more, but both defenses have batted quite a few down. So 2nd and 20, play clock winding down here for Georgia. They'll just get the play off. It's a screen for Zachariah Branch. And Branch is going to get taken down. They get into field goal range at the 35. And now here's a big 3rd down. So they get into field goal range. You don't want to take a sack here if you're Gunnar Stockton. That is the last thing you want to do. But it's 3rd and 9. That's going to bring us the 2-minute warning first. So 2 minutes left. 34-31, Ole Miss leads. Been the best game of the playoffs so far. And it really has not been close. So, if you're Georgia, you cannot lose yards right here. You're at the Ole Miss 35, be a 52-yarder from right here. We saw Woodring come up short from 55. So you don't want to make it more difficult. Georgia's also 3 for 12 on 3rd down. So I mean, this is a big play upcoming right here. It's 3rd down and 9. So you're probably not going to pick up the 1st down. Although you never know. We have seen Georgia convert a couple long ones today, even though they've only converted like 4 in the entire game. Good morning. Good morning. Where are you? It's 11:28 at night over here. What after the game? Probably not today. $8:30 for you Tuesday. Why'd you say good morning? So a 3-point game, 34-31 Ole Miss leads. Georgia with a 3rd and 9 at the first play after the 2-minute warning. These types of games are what you want more of. Yeah, me too. I mean, this game's been great. So 3rd and 9. Stockton going to look to throw. Stockton going to take a shot deep down the field. That pass incomplete. Oh, wow, they're going to throw a flag right there. Lucky with a one-handed attempt at it. But they're going to call pass interference. Wow, I'm not sure I love that call. They're going to call pass interference. Oh, that is a terrible call. No way is that a penalty. What am I doing? There is no way. So ball now on the 20-yard line. Stockton going to hand it off. Bowen hurdles a guy. And he stopped at the 17-yard line. Now, if you're Ole Miss, do you think about calling timeouts right here? Or no? I can understand the call. I don't think it's enough, though. I mean, he leans into him a little bit, but I think Lucky kind of sells that one, like, a lot by diving for it. The 2nd and 7. Stockton pump fakes the screen. Throws. End zone. Incomplete. Flag is down. Flag is down back near the line of scrimmage. We got another penalty against Ole Miss. This time it's defensive holding, half distance to the goal line. Alright, that one I can understand. These refs didn't call penalties, these types of penalties first 3 quarters. Yeah, that's the worst part. Now they're getting where you can't touch the guy when it wasn't like that for the first 3 quarters. Stockton, quarterback run up the middle, down to the 3-yard line, and a timeout called by Ole Miss. 1:08 to go. So Ole Miss with 1 timeout, Georgia with 3. 1:08 to go. It's 2nd and goal here for Georgia. Ole Miss outgaining Georgia 428 to 358, I think that said. Both teams 4 penalties. Ole Miss 48 yards, Georgia 38 yards. So 2nd and goal. Let's see what Georgia can do. 1:08 to go from the 3-yard line. Navy, Cincinnati tomorrow. No, I'm just doing the playoff games. Next stream we'll have a Saturday night for Seahawks 49ers. Here's a handoff. Bowen's taken down for a loss. He had no chance right there. Half the defense in the backfield at the time he got the ball. So it brings up 3rd and goal from about the 5-yard line. Who do I got winning the Super Bowl? I really have no idea. If you asked me before this past week, I would have said the Rams, but I mean, after their bad game against the Falcons, I really have no idea. I mean, maybe the Seahawks at this point. but I got no clue. You got Seahawks. Yeah, I think they might be the best team right now. But, I mean, there's just so many teams who can win it. So 3rd and goal from the 6. Stockton in shotgun, Cass Jones to his left. Ole Miss is out of timeouts. Stockton gonna look to throw. Has time, plenty of it. Stockton back of the end zone. Broken up, it's incomplete. Looking for Oscar Delp, but the pass got knocked away and it's 4th and goal. So Ole Miss, the defense is going to force a field goal here. And they get a red zone stop. So Georgia sends on the field goal team to try to tie it up. Oscar Delp was probably out of bounds if he caught that anyway. Peyton Woodring in his career, 3 of 3 in the 4th quarter overtime to tie or take the lead. This one from 24. And Woodring, right down the middle. 34-34. Ole Miss with 56 seconds. No timeouts. You go for it. Yeah, I'd agree. Too risky. I mean, just tie it up and try to go to overtime. And hope your defense can hold them out of field goal range for the next 56 seconds. Why not the Giants and Jets? Gee, maybe because those are the two worst teams, or two of the worst teams in the NFL. Oh, why? I root for the Giants, not the Jets. Oh, I don't know. I just grew up with a family of Giants fans, so I became a Giants fan. You were a huge Jets fan in the 80s. Not anymore? I mean, if you say not anymore, I don't really blame you, because the Jets have been terrible. So we got 56 seconds left. Ole Miss getting the football back. The kick is touchback. And we'll come out at the 25. Not an NFL fan anymore. Okay. Over under 25 and a half years of age before Jackson Dart gets CTE. Hopefully over. He needs to find a way to stay healthy. I mean, I do think he did a decent job protecting himself against the Raiders, but I think that's something he'll definitely learn as he gets older. So 1st and 10 here from the 25. 56 seconds for Ole Miss to work with. And they also got a kicker with a big leg. Made 2 field goals from at least 50 yards today. They're going to start on the ground with Kewan Lacey for a gain of 5. They're on the ball quickly here. 40 seconds to go. Chambliss to throw. Chambliss rolling right. Throws downfield. And the traffic is broken up. He had Caden Lee in the middle of about 5 defenders. Makes a great throw. But Lee can't hold on through the hit. Ole Miss is very lucky this doesn't get picked off after it's knocked free. There's a defender right there who just can't quite react in time. Thought he had that. Yeah, I did too. That was a huge hit, though. As the receivers low-key selling, I know that one right there is tough, but even before the receivers were selling. Yeah, that's true. They had some drops in the first half. Been better in the second half, but some big drops early in, or late in the first half, in the second quarter. Kind of forgot about that before you pointed it out. So 3rd and 5, we got 32 seconds left. I mean, this is an interesting thing right here if you're Ole Miss. You don't want to throw an incompletion. Give Georgia the ball back with 30 seconds, 3 timeouts, and a great kicker. I might just run the ball and hope to get it that way. But Chambliss will throw. Chambliss takes a shot down the field. It's caught! Caught by Stribling inside field goal range to the 31-yard line. Wow, what a throw and catch. Stribling gets behind the defense and a huge throw from Trinidad Chambliss. The clock is temporarily stopped with 26 seconds left. They're going to spot the ball on the 30-yard line. They're not going to spike here. Chambliss throws the outside. Oh, wow, almost just threw a pick. Everett made a diving attempt at it. Is spike and kick. I mean, I think that might be the best play, especially if you almost just threw a pick right here. I mean, run the ball here. Get a little closer. Don't tell anyone to leave. Go too far away from the line of scrimmage. You got 16 seconds. Figure out where your kicker wants it. Run the ball. Get it to that spot. Spike it. And kick the field goal. That's what I would do. I wouldn't take any more chances. They will throw, though. Chambliss just throws it out of bounds. Trying to take more time off the clock. Now, you can't center the ball here on 3rd down. So 3rd and 10. I wonder if they just throw this out of bounds again. Chambliss to throw. And he does exactly that. So here we go. 4th down. Georgia has timeouts. So the kicker here, 53 of 60 in his career. He made from 55 and 56 so far today. This one from 47 to most likely send Ole Miss to the next round of the college ball playoff. And there's the timeout. It's going to be on the left hash. There's 9 seconds left. And this is a huge one right here. Probably the biggest field goal he's ever kicked. 9 seconds. Haven't been tough stuff good yet. Hasn't been the best game for Georgia, that's for sure. So Georgia, they're going to have a chance to do something. So there's 9 seconds on the clock. Whether that's going to be enough time to return the kick or something, I mean, it's not going to be much time. They're going to have time to do one play and hope for a miracle. Assuming this is made. So 4th and 10. A 47-yard field goal from the left hash. The kick is on the way, and it is right down the middle. The field goal is good. Ole Miss up by 3 with 6 seconds left. Another great kick. Right down the middle. It's his third huge field goal of the day. And it's a 3-point game with 6 seconds left on the clock. Who else been good at blocking field goals? Who knows? Yeah, I mean, you never know. I mean, it doesn't happen there, but it's always something you got to keep an eye on. Lateral time. Yeah, exactly. Because, I mean, 6 seconds, I don't think that's enough time, even though you've got timeouts. I don't think that's enough time to run a play, call a timeout, and stuff like that. Who in Miami and Ole Miss making it this far? I don't know anyone. I don't know anyone who had Ohio State or Georgia losing the first round, or the first game they played. So this is interesting. Why would you return that? They're going to start laterals on the return? He throws it away. It bounces out of bounds. Oh, there might have been seconds still on the clock. No, it's a safety. It goes through the end zone. Why would you do that on the kickoff? That makes no sense. Ole Miss intentionally tried to kick it through the end zone. Georgia brought it back from 9 yards deep. And then once the guy got to the 5-yard line, he threw it backwards to absolutely nobody. And it ended up bouncing through the end zone for a safety. Yeah, that's a weird way to end it. Oh, wait a minute. They're going to say the game's not over. They're going to put a second back on the clock. It's a safety. The ref was just trying to get everybody off the field. Wait, so was the game over? What's going on here? I've got no idea. He just lost his spot, yep. I guess that's what happened. I mean, I have no idea. I would have liked my chances a lot more if I had my offense on the field as opposed to my kick coverage team. Then you got your receivers, you got Zachariah Branch, you got Dylan Bell, you've got all those guys on the field. And you can potentially get to the 25 after the touchback. And then you'll have the one play. You can throw a 15-yard pass downfield, and then you start the laterals. I think you got a lot better chance of doing that than a kickoff. And lateraling down the kickoff. So it seems like there's a safety. Or there is a safety. That's what was ruled on the field. But now they're going to review it to see if there's still time on the clock. Oh, the ball clips the pylon. So that is what the safety. The ball hits the pylon. So let's see here. The ruling of it feels the safety is confirmed. There's 2 points awarded to Ole Miss. And there is 1 second. Okay, so hold on. This is very interesting. Because I'm pretty sure you can do an onside kick on the free kick, and I'm not sure that's going to take any time. Oh, man, they got the stage on the field and everything. Now, I mean, if it does take a second, that completely changes everything, because then you can't recover it. It has to take a second. If there was 2 or 3 seconds, that's completely different, because there's confetti on the field. Well, I guess that's just going to have to stay there. But as soon as you touch the ball, the clock starts running. So even if you could go onside kick here, I think that would just take the second as soon as somebody touches it. But there also could be the chance where Georgia recovers the onside kick, it doesn't take any time, and you can throw a Hail Mary, which should seem possible. But maybe not. I'm not sure. But there's 1 second left on the clock. 39-34. The ball hit the pylon with 1 second left, so it's not quite over just yet. So confused. So essentially what happened, there was a safety because the ball hit the pylon going backwards. And it hit the pylon, which put a dead ball with 1 second on the clock. So they gave almost the 2 points. And now they've got it with the 1 second run off the clock. Alright, so they got the stage off the field. Oh, here's the only problem. I forgot when you have a safety, you kick off from your own 20. As opposed to the typical spot at the 35. I mean, you can still have a chance to do the laterals. So, I mean, if you're Ole Miss, you just want to touch the ball. You don't even have to recover because Georgia can't advance it. But let's see. The clock starts as soon as it gets touched by anyone. So 1 second left. There. Oh, he did not kick that far enough. Alright, it goes 10 yards. It's recovered by Cass Jones. There's still a second on the clock. There's the Gatorade bath for Pete Golding. Wait a minute. Now the second comes off the clock. Wait, now the clock says zeros. I don't think anyone knows what's going on. The players are on the field. Now they're sending them back off the field. There's Gatorade on the field. What is going on? So there's still going to be a second on the clock because Georgia recovered it right there. As soon as they recover it, the play's over. So again, they got to get the stage off the field. How about you just wait until you actually know if the game is over or not to get the stage on the field? Okay, so Georgia's going to have a chance in a miracle. If this happens, this might be the craziest ending in college football history. So let's see. There's Gatorade on the field at the 41-yard line. Georgia's got the ball at their own 31. So Stockton, you don't want to throw a Hail Mary. You want to do laterals. Stockton, there it is. There's the first. It's flipped back to Cass Jones. Jones is zone 30, running around. Jones throws to Walson Wucky. Wucky makes the guy miss. Back to Jones. Back to 31. Jones bounces it back to Thomas, back near the 30. That's not Thomas, that's Colby Young, who finds Walson Wucky back to 25. Wucky flips it back to Jones. Multiple flags come in. Jones just launches it backwards. It's caught. Got to go backwards. That's a forward pass. It's back to Stockton. It's got to be a backwards pass. Stockton eventually gets taken down at the 20-yard line. So what happened right there? Flags are on the field. It's not going to matter. Game is over. Finally. So it's going to be 39-34. Ole Miss wins. Wow, that final 3 seconds took forever. But the game is now over. Ole Miss upsets Georgia 39-34. And they'll advance to the Fiesta Bowl and play Miami. Wow, who saw this? Miami and Ole Miss in the second round. It shouldn't be possible to recover a kick and have time remaining. So, the interesting thing is the clock doesn't start until someone touches the ball. But Ole Miss never touched the ball. They just let Georgia dive on it. And as soon as the ball gets recovered, the play is over. So there never was time for the second to come off the clock. So that's what happened there. I mean, I get what you're saying, and that it should be time should come off the clock anyway, because there has to be at least something happen. I'm not quite sure, but that was a wild finish. I mean, that was the longest way to get the known result, I think, of all time. But final score 39-34. What a game. I mean, this was easily the game of the playoffs so far, and it's not close. Trinidad Champions with a huge game. Threw for 362 yards, 2 touchdowns. And the Ole Miss defense played pretty well. While just 13 points in the second half. And last time, Georgia owned the fourth quarter. This time, Ole Miss outscores Georgia 20-10 in the final quarter. Good job in the 3 frames today. Thank you. I appreciate that. Glad you enjoyed it. But final score 39-34. That's where I'm going to end today's stream. It's been a long day streaming all the games. Got a lot of content on the way. I will have NFL Week 18 predictions out tomorrow. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this stream. Thank you guys for watching. Happy New Year. I hope you guys enjoyed all the streams. New Year's resolutions. I don't know, one of them is get monetized on YouTube. Get on a better sleep schedule, which it's not gonna help right now with it being midnight. But I haven't really thought about that too much. I'll work on that more tomorrow. But yeah, that's where I'm going to end today's stream. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Happy New Year. And yeah, thank you for watching. And I'll see you guys